everyone to Totally Online Gaming Group's Twitch channel. We're glad you guys could join us for another episode of our D&D 5th Edition campaign, The Blackest Heart, where we use Tailspire for maps and combat. So, as always, we need to give a shout out to our wonderful sponsor, which is Critical Hit Gaming Supplies. I'll go ahead and put their info in chat here for you guys. You can go ahead and check them out. They've got some amazing stuff, and our cameras all jumped around when he hit away. Also have to rearrange the cameras, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, they've got some amazing stuff there. These really awesome 3D printed dice towers, so dice trays, amazing dice. In fact, where'd I put them? I just got me a set of these awesome dice. Right here, they are hollow metal dice, and they make this really cool sound. There you go. Hopefully you could hear that. So they make this really cool sound. Yeah, when you roll them. So I love these. Yes, I love these things. And yeah, you can get those and much, much more at criticalhitgamingsupplies.com. Go ahead, check them out, check their website out. And if you do find something you like, make sure you type in TOGG15. That's TOGG15 at checkout. Yes, I know. I know that all jumped around when Jacob's video feed went away, so I have to rearrange everybody again. But
they're the only two out of place.
Yeah, I know. They just like switched positions. It was weird. But I will get that fixed here momentarily. In the meantime, just some quick announcements. Tomorrow night is normally our Tailspire Collaborative build stream. However, it might not be happening. It might be a bit late if it does happen, because I've got a date tomorrow night, so I'm pretty excited about that. And yeah, sorry guys. It might be a little bit late and might not happen. We'll just have to see.
I doubt you prioritize your personal life.
My social life? Yes, I know.
Yeah,
I know. But hey, that's just what's happening. Other than that, there are also some big things coming down the pipe. Things that, these two I guess I can tell you about. One, I am currently putting together a website that will eventually also have an app that goes with it, that is going to be something where you can just on your phone go to this app and you can pick an area, search that area, search a certain radius in that area for a DM for hire. And then you'll be able to schedule a game with that DM, and they'll come and you can add add-ons and stuff, like the DM has extra dice sets that they can bring, so nobody has to have their own dice, or they'll bring character sheets, or maybe they've got miniatures you guys can use, or even 3D terrain. There'll be options for things that certain DMs may have available, others may not. You'll also be able to look at the profiles of all the DMs in the area that you searched to see, what their play styles are, what kind of games they've run in the past, reviews that other people have left them, and all that kind of stuff. So that way you'll be able to say, hey, you know what? Our group's having the hardest time finding a DM. Let's go ahead and hire one. So there you go. You'll be able to do that. The other big thing, it's probably not going to happen until next year, and the website is going to take about 3 months or so before everything's up and running fully. And I do need a stable of DMs. So if you are a DM out there who wants to try to be a professional DM for hire, feel free to hit me up, message me, let me know that, hey, I'd like to know more about this. I think I'd like to get involved. Let me know, because we got to have a bank of DMs for people to search through. The other thing, which will probably be sometime next year, is a friend of mine and I and some people we've connected up with. We're going to be starting a convention here in Central Florida called CritCon. It is something that we're pretty excited about. It is going to be a gaming convention focused on role-playing games, but we'll also have other types of games like tabletop games, game library for different board games and other tabletop games. There'll also be social games like Werewolf and stuff like that. So it's going to be a fun time. We're looking forward to it, and just thought I'd get the word out. I'll keep you guys informed on that as things develop, as we start progressing towards making this happen. But if you're going to be in the Central Florida area when we're having this convention, we'd love for you guys to come and pay us a visit and have some fun playing some games. All right, that is all for announcements, unless anybody has anything else.
Check out Absolute 20 Pod. Not tomorrow, we won't be there. Whatever day Friday. Friday. My brain is shot right now.
Whatever day Friday is Friday. So check it out on Friday. Gotcha. All right, so check out Absolute 20 Pod. I enjoy hopping in there whenever I'm able, and saying hi to Rogar as he runs a very fun group. They're fun to watch. So check those guys out. All right, anybody else? Nope. All right, then, without further ado, we bring you the Blackest Heart. All right, and we are back. Okay, so to fill you all in on what happened last week, for this week, the next week, and the next couple weeks, continuing on, we are actually going to be focusing on one character at a time, because the party currently at the Shifter Kingdom, Diana, the new queen, who hasn't yet had a coronation, but is, in effect, the ruler of this kingdom. They have now freed this place from the tyranny of her mother and started to repair the damage that was done by her mother over the many, many years of her rule. But during this time, Diana has said, hey, look, guys, we need to kind of settle down. I'm getting on in my pregnancy here. I'm eventually going to have this baby, and, I think we should stay here and, make sure that the child is safe and that things go well before we continue on from here. And everyone else is kind of... and everyone else is kind of like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. And so the party is basically taking a year hiatus or some downtime away from the events of the world. But during that time, many things are being accomplished. Rogar, last week, where we focused on him, took the time to go and secure some of his loved ones. He went and found his betrothed Giselle. He also went and found his aunt, Adriana, and his cousin, Jonathan, as well as many other people that Adriana and Jonathan were kind of in charge of over in the port city where he had found them. People mostly destitute, but all trying to stick together. And he gathered up those that he could, including making a stop by Bennett's Bridge, where he managed to convince two former acquaintances, Hector and Juan, into leaving their ways with the path and forging a new road, or a new path, one would say, with him and their newly formed order. One that he is creating under Tenebrous' guidance, where Eurydice is kind of acting as the, I guess, would you call her the High Priestess? Or what was the titles you were given?
Her official title is one of these web pages I've opened. Give me a second, hold on. Found it. The Harbinger of the Void.
Harbinger of the Void.
Right.
Okay. So he is, started kind of recruiting for this, gathered them all up, and decided to find a place to keep them safe. And his thoughts were, well, no one's in my old family home. So it's a fairly secure, estate. And I mean, it is large enough, it could easily house these people. And it's far enough away from where the fighting is occurring on the border between, no problem, between between Northcut and Southcut. So he figured,
And we
hey,
jump again.
and yep, the cameras jumped again. They'll hop back when she pops back in. I guarantee it. But he decided that would be the best place for them, far enough away from the fighting occurring at the border, and made a plan to travel there, deciding to do it somewhat opulently in a very, very expensive carriage with a large team of horses.
Didn't he also get Jacob's sisters?
He did indeed.
Yeah.
That is correct. He got
Them.
he basically kidnapped him. No, he found them and convinced them that it would be safe, and trusting him as they knew him to be a friend of their brothers. They went along, and now Rogar and this gaggle of people that he has collected together have made it to his old family estate, where there is much work to do, as it is severely run down, covered in creeping vines. Some of it is, falling down in places. It needs some work, but the structure and the bones of it are still there. So that's what Rogar did, kind of during the 1-year hiatus, 1-year downtime. Now, tonight, we are going to zoom in on Razmith and what he is up to. So, currently, when we kind of left the main storyline, Razmith and Jacob were both in Stonehaven, Razmith's home, where he grew up. And Jacob had the experience of meeting some of Razmith's family members for the first time, other than, of course, Galar, who has been around since Razmith has. And he also kind of found out that, holy shit, Razmith Yuri and the Yuri family seem to be pretty damn well off and important in Stonehaven. And in fact, they're so, I guess you would call them upper crust, that other people seem to kind of talk down about them because it's the haves versus have-nots kind of syndrome of, yeah, those stupid Yuris and all their stuff and blah, 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 blah. So, tonight, that's where we are going to focus, as Razmith is in his family home. Jacob, who has just come back there, he had visited there, went back to go and talk to Lady Redstone and Diana and find out what's going on back in the Shifter Kingdom, and then he recently has teleported back. Now, the rest of the party members get the joy of playing Razmith's family. And I think everyone has already decided who they will be playing as part of Razmith's family, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so...
Technically, no.
Technically, no? Well,
Yeah,
let's run down the list and see who's doing what. So, we know that let's see here. Who do we have? We do know that...
Yes, hi, hello, I'm back, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Food problems.
No
we were
problem.
delivered the wrong order.
Ah, that happens. I hate it when that happens. All right, but let's see here. We have got... Oh, wrong thing. Right there. So, I know Eurydice will actually be playing Sindri. Diana said she's going to be playing the mother, Razmith's mother. And,
yeah, so I'm going to be playing Bess, Galar, Revna, Sigri,
Mm-hmm.
and
Basically, the other
Randy.
females.
Randy and Liv. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. He's got a lot
Shelby,
of
help me.
siblings.
Sure, I
Now,
can take a few.
mhm.
I'll
Yeah.
message you which
Why
ones
don't
I
you,
want to keep.
why don't you split up between the two of you? Who's got who?
I'm sorry I made so many.
Actually, your mother and father made so many.
Yeah.
All right. So now,
They've
Oh,
been alive
looks-
for so many years.
looks like we lost Jacob too.
We did.
So, don't know what happened there. Hopefully, he'll be back here shortly. So, Rogar, there are many to choose from. And do you have a list of Razmith's family
How-
members?
I don't. Give me a number. Like how many are available?
Oh boy.
Any of the brothers.
I need a number.
Well, why don't you send him the list real quick there?
Oh dear, you
Diana?
want me to count?
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
we
I
can
will.
we can count. There's
I'm just gonna roll.
there's the father. There's the father.
One.
There is, let's see, scrolling down here, Gloy.
Two.
That's another one. Grid.
3.
Frody.
4.
Let's see. Those are both girls.
Nyal-
Okay, out of the
Nyal and
quadruplets.
Gunhild.
Yep. Nyal and Gunhild.
Oh,
What about the?
I wasn't listening.
So that's-
How many we're at now?
We're at 6 right now. What about the quadruplets? Let me see here. Quadruplets. All right. So out of the quadruplets, which ones are males and which ones are females? Let's
I
see.
think if we get Jacob back, I know he.
Oh, I
wanted
see.
to
Okay,
do
there we go.
Brody.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
Down one.
Really.
That's it. That's 6. 6, not counting Frody, so 5.
Okay. No,
Did you
no.
count Nyal and
Yes.
Gunhild?
Yep.
Who's 4?
4. So 4.
I'll have to go back and count.
Let's see here. So that actually would be 1, 2, 3, and it would have been Frody, but he's not there. So it looks like it is going to be Nyal. So Nyal,
For that name.
yep, Nyal Yuri, and I will just copy this this little paragraph right here into the Discord for you there, and you'll.
If Jacob can, I think the two he would enjoy the most would be Gunhild and Frody.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
So
Two
there,
of those.
I've just posted Nyal's info for you.
Even
For
better.
I've posted the info for Nyal. For Nyal. Y'all hear that?
To see.
He
Yeah,
lost
y'all
internet.
hear that? Yeah, that figures. All right, so let's do this at least for now, so we can actually see Rogar in the camera
You
frame.
got that there twang there going on.
Yeah,
sir.
that twang. All right, there we go. So now got that fixed. Excuse me. All right.
See if I can pull off a Scottish accent tonight.
Well, give it your best. That's all you can do. So, and I then will be taking care of the rest, which includes Razmith's father, Brock. That also includes Gloy.
I do know you already started to do Gloy.
Mm-hmm.
We need.
Yep.
And then I was thinking you could play the dad and the grandpa.
Well, that's what I was already saying. I don't know if you can hear me, but yes. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you.
My brain's also fuzzy.
Okay. Yes. No, I already said, yep, I could do Brock and Gloy. And I also did plan on the grandfather, because there's some information that might be had there that, well, we'll see how well you do at getting that information out of him, if you decide to talk to him. So,
So cryptic.
so Razmith.
Yes.
You find yourself in your family home, and so many grasping minds. Yep. Just saw that message, Rogar. So you find yourself in your family home. It is morning. You are waking up once again in your bed that you haven't been in for some time, as you've been on the road quite a bit. But it's comfortable. You're used to it. The smell of breakfast being cooked, the nice, comfortable, warm bed. You don't feel like getting up. But you know there's things to do.
It sucks to have to be an adult.
Especially since you're a little bit worn out, because yesterday you spent all day dealing with Frody and trying to get information out of him, trying to ask him what was going on, and he was so focused on what he was doing that despite your prodding yesterday, you really didn't get much info, but you definitely got a bit of a headache because you just kept trying, and it's like he would deflect at every turn, just, no, here, hand me that, come on, and just kept ignoring you.
Just gonna start rubbing my temples. Oh, Jesus, he doesn't shut up. Oh, did he give me any information at all, like, pertaining to possible caches or hints, or was he just so focused that I just didn't get a damn thing?
You know what? Give me an intelligence check.
Okay. Yeah. Just straight intelligence?
Yep, straight intelligence.
Okay. 20.
20. Oh, excellent. Okay, so yeah, you know your brother well enough. You know that you probably shouldn't have been just hounding him that whole day, but this trying to get this information, it's important and you know it. But you know, once he's focused on something like that, kind of everything else just is noise. He doesn't really even, register it. You figure you need to catch him off guard, catch him not focused on his work, and perhaps then you'll be able to actually get him to talk and open up and extract some info from him.
I feel like Brody has ADHD.
Maybe.
Okay. Honestly, I'm just gonna dress casually. I don't feel like I have to walk around suited up. I'm probably gonna leave Frody alone for a bit. Just gonna give him a break. Try to find a way to lure him out of the house. That smell of the food though, that sounds intriguing.
Okay.
I think I might tiptoe downstairs.
All right. So you're starting to make your way down the stairwell.
As you get to the bottom of the stairs, all you're going to hear from around the corner, coming from the kitchen, is a very strict, I don't know which one of you is awake, but you better go get your siblings before I start screaming.
I'm just gonna turn around real slow and tiptoe back upstairs. This is pretty much a long hallway with multitude of doors.
Yes.
So
Yes, it is, and you know that the one at like the very end, that's actually been appropriated as Frody's workspace, his lab. The rest of them most of them are bedrooms. A few of them are like, maybe a linen closet here, there, or, one of them is actually, there's two bathrooms, one on either side of the hall. One's a little bit further down, and one's closer to where you're at. And then, well, your parents' room, the master bedroom, that also has its own bathroom.
okay.
But it's actually right near the doorway closest to the top of the stairs, and then opens up into a very large room. But the rest are all for the most part, similar sized bedrooms.
Okay.
Not too small, but also
Is his-
not extravagant.
Is his dad there in the kitchen with his mom? Or is he already gone and out?
I don't know. He hasn't got down there yet to see.
Actually, I'm gonna turn back into my room.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have a large chest in the room?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I want to go in there, and I'm going to rummage around, and I'm gonna find a handful of just small material.
Any particular kind of material? You're just looking for like, some some cloth from clothes or something like that, or
just like small bolts or marbles. Just tiny little things. I just need to find a tiny non-magical object.
You find actually a bag of marbles that you used to play with when you were much younger.
Okay.
But
and how
it's
many
just kind of
doors
sitting
were
there.
down the hallway again?
Oh boy. All of your siblings, count all them up, and then for the twins,
10.
they shared a room, and the quadruplets actually shared a large room. So
Okay, so I only need 10.
yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do.
Okay, so I'm going to cast Magical Tinkering 3 times,
Okay.
because I'm allowed to affect a maximum of 4 objects at a time.
Okay.
And they are all going to... They're all going to just emanate a very loud pinging noise.
Okay.
Oh my God, you're making
But they
me roll
don't
for block.
they're not going to activate until I throw them in the rooms.
Okay. All right. So you cast your spells, and then
So I'm going to use 3 of them.
all right, and then you just like walk down the hall, opening each door and throwing one in there. Or
I'm assuming there's enough of a gap underneath the door.
you just kind of roll it
Maybe
under.
Roll it under.
I'm just gonna start rolling them under the.
Okay.
I'm
All
just
right.
gonna try and ricochet them off the hallway and try to shoot them into rooms.
Okay. And sure enough, as the first one goes under, there's this loud pinging, ringing sound now coming from that room, and then the next one and the next one, and it's just all down the hall as you're going down, throwing these marbles into each room. And all right, Sindri,
Uh-huh.
you wake up to this shrill pinging sound. Okay, I'm not gonna go down all the list, but all of you, Nyal, every single one of you, just all of you, just like what the hell?
Motherfucker.
The only
You're
one.
just gonna hear a very loud. Oh, when I get my hands on you! As she slams her bedroom door open.
I'm just gonna go to the edge of the stairs and I'm gonna hold the side of the banister here, and I'm just gonna wait for all of these doors to open.
Okay. The only bedroom door that doesn't swing open with an obviously upset dwarf is Frody's bedroom door. Because, well, apparently he slept in the lab last night.
That little bastard.
Liv, all the way down at the very end of the hall, pokes her head out slowly from the quadruplets room, and she's like, "Did you have to wake them all up like this?"
It was effective. Morning.
Other than that, you see all of your siblings, minus Frody, who apparently is still sawing logs in the lab. The doors are open and they're standing out. They're all looking at you with expressions that you have seen many times before. And just these look on all their faces of, we're going to murder you. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon.
But someday.
Someday.
Time for breakfast. Come on.
All right, and I assume everyone piles on down for breakfast eventually, after the rude
Eventually,
awakening.
with grumbling and angry, and they all
I
want to destroy their brother.
I can't recall. Does the second floor adjoin to the third floor for his lab, or
Well,
is there another
the
stairwell?
the door is on the end of that hallway. Goes, you go through that door, and then up the stairs to the third floor for the lab.
Okay. I'm gonna head up, and I'm gonna go try and drag Frody out of his room, whether he likes it or not.
So you are walking down the hall past all your angry siblings.
No.
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, because I do have my little flying shoes, I'm gonna be flying above everybody.
Hang on. If I'm reading this correctly on how this should work. There it is. Yeah, so this will work. Your second to youngest sister, Revna, is grabbing onto your feet because she's the quick and nimble one.
All right.
Sigrid is totally gonna help her.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So make an attack roll with advantage.
Sigrid will grab onto Revna's feet
And
so,
boost
she
her
can
up.
just drag him down.
Ooh. I don't know what their modifiers would be.
Just what'd you get on the die? You rolled with advantage.
17. I got a
Okay.
17. Oh, advantage, my bad.
Yep.
17 and a 19.
Okay.
So, 19.
Yep.
I don't know what her modifiers would be. She
Well,
doesn't
what-
have a sheet.
What's your AC there, Razmith?
That's an 18.
Okay, so there you go.
God damn it.
So yeah, as you're trying to fly above them, the problem you're having is, well, this isn't like a grand hallway that's 15, 20 feet tall. It's just a regular hallway. So it's about 8 feet tall. So your
I knew it
head,
wouldn't be a smart move. But
Yeah,
I
you're-
thought it would be a wise try.
your head's like almost brushing the ceiling, and your feet are still dangling like right in their grasp. And sure enough, Revna snatches onto him, and Sindri gives a hand, and
No, that was Sigrid.
Sigrid. Okay, so Sigrid gives a hand.
Sindri is going to just go back into her room, grab what I can only assume, she's probably got a shit ton of random things in her room, a grappling hook, and just hook onto her brother as he
Oh
flies.
God. Can I try to jump
So you have
try
the
to
so you
shake
have
one of them
the-
off and get away?
So you have the female twins just latched onto your feet.
All right, Njal,
yanking
what
you
is
down.
Njal doing?
No, I'm in a fucking predicament, ain't I?
Uh-huh.
It's
I
how many
guess.
against one?
Yeah, I guess y'all will
Do I
use,
still technically have movement?
We'll get to you in a second.
Damn it.
Yeah, Nyal will go ahead and bonus action Giant's Might to become a large size
Oh no.
person.
Does he have
Sure.
an ability?
Yeah, he's a rune knight, so he has to be at least
Oh,
level
yeah.
3.
Mm-hmm.
And if he deems himself the giant of the town guard,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason.
Yep.
I tried to give him
You're gonna be
personality.
the size of the hall.
Yeah, you are
Over.
you are filling the hallway right now.
Good.
So-
and then I will go to punch. You.
Oh gosh.
And what do you think you are all doing?
Just
As-
take a time.
What's up?
You all hear your mother's voice as she's standing at the top of the stairs staring at you.
I did crit, by the way.
Oh, fuck me up.
Ah.
How
she
dare
she
you.
so she says that
Jesus.
just as your
The fist-
fist slams into Razmith's mouth,
God
and he does one of those kind of slow motion spit flying, and this, surprisingly, as even though it hurts a little bit,
I just got a
you
big ass
fe-
smile on my
you
face.
you feel at home once more. This is how your family has always been.
The Weasleys, but more violent.
Yes.
Yeah. I know for sure I did 7 damage.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you rocked his jaw pretty good.
Bess is just gonna storm over to her children, and she's going to give one look to Nyal and go, if you do not get down, I will remind you why you're not allowed to use that in the house. He's like a level 20 paladin, by the way.
I guess. I'm sure I can end it probably as an action. It just doesn't say that I can.
Yeah, you can. You can. That's fine.
Yeah. Because I was like, damn, there's no way to end this shit? I gotta be like this for 1 whole minute?
Nah.
Just deflates.
I was gonna fire Rini, but now we're in trouble.
She's going to point to the twin girls and then over to Nyal and go, you 3 are doing all of the dishes. With a smile.
So is Sindri not in trouble because she's got the grappling hook and still like...
She hasn't done anything yet, so as it stands, no.
This shit escalated quickly.
Oh yeah.
Dwarves.
Now, the rest of you
Dwarves.
get downstairs for breakfast before I make your father come get you all.
Sigrid just kind of raises her hand, just like, but Ma, he threw these tiny little pebble marble thingies and just woke us all up, and it was horrible.
I'm going to count to 3.
Fine.
1.
2.
Oh shit! He's cruising. He's
I can describe this.
he's cruising for a bruising.
I picture Bess as the dwarvish version of a very strict southern mother.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
he's
going to
walking.
die if you sass back.
He's walking. It's just, I'm a little bit of a hothead.
No,
I haven't been
back. I'm
properly.
trying to explain.
Yeah, because the way
everything.
Nick,
Yeah, I'm trying to help you.
yeah, no, Nick has it described as when she speaks, you listen. Otherwise, her defined smite will show you just how much you wished you were listening.
Oh shit.
Along
Yeah.
with a very nasty temper.
Mm-hmm.
So, very angry southern mama.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Well,
So,
now that I'm
thank
free,
God your knees are touching your chest as you get down there.
now that I'm free, I'm gonna run upstairs to go grab Frody now.
Okay.
Now that the coast has been cleared.
All right. So.
I find it hard that she wouldn't have heard all the clattering and banging.
Oh no. It definitely noiseworthy. All right.
Well,
That was making
Razmith
enough.
Razmith passes Sindri, and she just gotta.
He's just gonna
Here.
smile and blow you a little kiss.
Yeah.
All right. So you head upstairs to get Frody. The rest of the siblings, all knowing Mama's wrath, begrudgingly make their way downstairs and towards the kitchen for breakfast. So you are now up in the lab, and you see Frody is just passed out, sitting on a stool, head laying on a desk, papers strewn about underneath him. Ink still on his fingers. Obviously, he was up last night doing something. Something
I'm
just...
not even gonna
go.
bother trying to attempt to actually wake him up. I'm just gonna pick him up and hoist him over my shoulder and carry him downstairs.
Okay. And all you hear is... He's still
That's
out
kind of what
cold.
I expected.
Yeah, he's still out cold. You figure he probably didn't get to sleep until the middle of the night, when he just passed out from being exhausted. So, but
Okay.
you carry him back down, and when you finally arrive in the kitchen with Frody over your shoulder, you see your entire family is there, sitting around this big-ass table that has a seat for everyone. The only one who is not there currently is your father, who is actually sitting about 30 feet away in the den in a nice, comfy, oversized chair that is stuffed, smoking on a pipe.
I feel like he's gotten out of the way because he knows Mother is angry.
Perhaps. But he's just sitting there smoking on a pipe and with a mug of some morning ale sitting next to him.
Reading the newspaper?
Nope, just sitting there, relaxing a little bit. Waiting for everyone, I guess, to finally get seated before he shuffles over for breakfast. A familiar scene for Razmith and his family.
I'm gonna kind of look around to the whole room. Look at who I found taking a nap upstairs.
I'm not surprised. He's been sticking his nose in things even more since he got back. Speaking of, how are your travels? The one piping up this time would be the one who grabbed onto your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Revna?
Yeah,
Was it
Revna.
Yes.
Revna.
Are you sure? Was it Revna?
Yes.
It was Revna.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
Could have been Anver.
'Cause-
Anver.
Yeah, because she's the one that's always pestering for stories.
Razmith's gonna take Frody over to where his chair is, and he's just gonna set him down gently, and I'm assuming we have coffee.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just gonna put that around him so he can try to smell
It's
that up.
but it's not really. You know it as it's not quite the same as like coffee, which you have had in mostly in human kingdoms and in human dominated areas. It's
like dirty bean water.
it's
huh?
it's different. It's actually called black bean.
Black bean.
Because it's a very dark, almost pitch black coffee bean that is only grown actually underground in the mountains here in Stonehaven.
Okay.
It's actually it's actually a much more potent in caffeine. Yes,
Oh, awesome.
Go ahead.
I feel like I should not be showing this to a certain child when she's older. Yeah, my travels were good. It was a long boat ride all the way there. But once I got there, it was really interesting.
You fight a dragon?
Yeah, actually, well, I didn't fight the dragon. I ran across the field all the way there, and they slayed it when I got there.
To which Liv then pipes up, goes, "Wait, you actually fought a dragon?"
Didn't you hear him?
Yeah, he didn't
Sindri
fight a
said that-
dragon.
I didn't actually fight the dragon.
Yeah,
I
he
got to
didn't
watch the
fight the
dragon
dragon.
die.
He was.
But there was a
nearby.
dragon involved regardless.
Yeah, and he'll actually pull out of his little pouch on his hip, and he'll pull out a little dragon scale, and and he'll toss it to her.
Revna's gonna turn to, not Sindri, but, Sigrid.
Yeah.
And she's just be like, "I told you he'd encounter a dragon."
That's not fair. You like any story or adventure, you're bound to encounter a dragon.
Yeah, but I told you he was going north. It's uncharted territory. There had to still be dragons there.
Fine.
Well, honestly, I honestly didn't expect to bump into a dragon. I came across, first I heard a large roar, and so I assumed there was a really big creature in that direction, and then I heard what it sounded like yelling. So me and Glar, we decided to run, and I just wish we could have run a little faster, because that would have been really nice to have gotten in on the fight. But after that, helped overthrow a kingdom.
It's not something you hear every day.
You overthrew a kingdom?
No, not me personally. I just kind of helped dig the hole for the infiltration team.
Meanwhile, Galar's just sitting over here grinning because you're doing a whole... She's like, there is so much you're leaving out.
And at this time, finally, the father, Brock, looks over, sees all the children, finally, you know, kind of sitting at the table while his wife, Bess, is now, you know, putting different plates of food out there. And he stands up and he walks over there. He looks over at Bess, he looks at his kids, looks at you, Razmith, and says, "Overthrew a kingdom, eh? Honey?" And he holds his hand out, waiting for the 5 gold from Bess.
Oh yeah, later you'll definitely see Sigrid and her twin totally exchanging money.
Yeah.
You're putting bets
Pay
on me?
up.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course we
Bess,
bet
she's
on
gonna she's just gonna look at her husband with a look of slight disdain. She's like, I agreed to no such bet. It's bad for you and it's bad for the soul.
you. Mom, we were all there when you made that bet.
Oh,
shit.
hush.
I don't know what like if I'm more offended by the fact that you bet on me or it was only 5 gold.
Well, dude, it was the only thing to do.
Meanwhile, Liv is going to slowly reach over and tug on her dad's shirt and goes, "You said he would do something exciting. I specified it would have to do with the kingdom."
Damn it. Hands over the 5 gold.
Like the baby of the family has learned over the years.
Mhm.
Damn, being so vague.
He
Well-
takes his seat and just kind of sits there, and now he's just enjoying his morning ale, morning brew, watching all of you.
Jason,
That's me.
yeah, we've both tagged you in the messages because Nick
Yeah.
needs to go get our food.
Yeah, I saw that. So,
Razmith is gonna actually get up and go use the restroom
perfect.
real fast.
All right.
Which means he's gonna
So-
take an hour or
Yes.
however long it takes.
Yeah. How?
Razmith
Where
to go
are
to
you
the
going to
bathroom.
go pick up the food from somewhere? Or?
Yeah, we have
Okay.
to because they screwed up our order.
Ah, those bastards!
Those. So, I will be back as
All right.
fast as I can.
Be
No
safe.
problem.
We can have a nice long day in the bathroom.
All right. So, while he is away, put that down. That's perfect. So while he is away, what we can do is we can see what's going on back in the Shifter Kingdom right now.
Hello!
So, right now, back in the Shifter Kingdom, there's still Eurydice, Diana, Lady Redstone is there. All of the main players, NPCs, are there, with the exception of Varaine and her crew, the Seekers. They have taken their leave, as they have completed the request that you had for them, and now had other things that they must attend to. Rogar has not left just yet, either, for his adventures. So you 3 from the party are still there. Jacob had already transported himself back to Stonehaven, so it's you 3.
Eurydice is
You've already had the talks with Lady Redstone, and all that has occurred. So,
Cool. So
just so you
this
know.
is kind of like, want to say a couple of weeks out,
Mm,
or...
not even. This is
Okay.
this is like a few days.
48 hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Eurydice has definitely gone up to Redstone and asked her, "Hey, do you know anything about the Moonacre family?"
Moonacre.
They're
Your throat is so wet, sir.
um,
They're
Moon.
elves.
Do you mean? Are you talking the Moonacres of Renkulith?
Yes. Yes.
I know of them, not much more than that. I know they are one of the noble elven families.
Is Diana with Yuri?
Oh
Yuri?
yeah, Eurydice isn't really letting Diana out of her
Okay.
sight.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
As soon as
Diana's
like,
just-
Rogar is gone, and not even then, like she has taken up position of midwife.
Yeah, well, Rogar's still there for now.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
but no matter what, Eurydice, if Rogar isn't present at the moment, Eurydice is there. She is the midwife, as far as she's concerned.
That's fair. But no, Diana's gonna look over at Yuri. She's like, "Are you sure you want to poke that fair?"
I just wanted to know if there was anything cool about them.
Well, they're a noble family. That I
Well, yeah, I
haven't
gathered that.
I haven't much dealt with anyone from Kulith, but I have heard of them, as I have heard of several other noble families, but I don't have any business dealings with them, so...
Okay. Have you heard anything maybe about a missing daughter of the main family? Or
Wait one. Must roll the die. My new one. Not bad. Actually, yes. I do believe there was something a few years back. Something about a missing young noble, but word traveled of that, but not much else out to us.
okay, because I'm pretty sure I'm her, and
Her eyes kind of
You're never one
go
for
wide a little.
subtlety, are
Yeah.
you, Yuri?
I don't. I may be a rogue, but I prefer bluntness.
Yeah,
when you're telling me shit.
her eyes go a little bit wide when you say that, and says, "Really?"
Yep, and I'm pretty sure my the boyfriend, I guess you could call him, is
He's something.
he's something. Is technically the son of a warlord who was employed by my family.
The ways of elves are interesting.
I don't know. Yeah,
The son of a what?
warlord.
Lee's the son of a warlord.
Yeah.
The bumbling blonde who can't walk in a straight line half the time.
Uh-huh.
You hear from down the hall, I so can walk. Damn it!
Lee.
They have bigger problems if that's the heir of a warlord.
I mean, from what I remember, his dad was pretty cool and like pretty awesome at like handling shit with people.
So what happened to him?
Lee says he was run out because I was kidnapped by the dumbasses.
Really?
Yeah.
Kidnapped.
But we all know the dumbasses could never kidnap me. Even they know it.
From what I've seen
Hey,
of them, I 100% believe you.
Cool.
Hey, Yuri.
Yeah?
Are you sure it wasn't, the claim was kidnapping instead of running away?
Oh, yeah. Hold on, give me a second. I need to look at something.
Because, like,
No,
Diana's met the dumbasses. Diana has also met Eurydice, and she's not seeing the possibility of Eurydice getting kidnapped and actually caught, but she can see Eurydice running away.
Well, while you're
Give me a
looking,
second.
yep.
I'm trying to figure out if that was ever explained to her.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
while you're looking at that, go ahead.
I've figured it out. I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it was a cover. Raynon actually hired them to kidnap me or convince me to leave. Because I guess I was stubborn back then.
No, really? I never would have guessed.
I know. It's so strange.
Yeah. Just wouldn't have pictured that.
No, not at all.
So, while this discussion is going on, Rogar, you are out and about in the palace. And what are you currently doing?
That's a good question.
I mean, you're welcome to just hang out with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Roger does he have it? I know he said that he was gonna go help out at the church, so I guess that's what he would be doing if he wasn't needed at the moment.
I will say, Agni will have made his angry, unnecessarily paladin like showdown between him and Rogar very like he would have told him just like, I'm a better paladin than you and I can prove it, and would have just gone off at some point.
He's gonna die, so I have to plan a funeral. Gotcha.
Yep. Because
I mean,
I have to be better than everyone.
I come from a family where that sounds like you're challenging me to a duel.
Well, actually, he would be like, "What do you mean duel? Doesn't need to be a duel. I'm going to challenge you with my awesome wit. I know so much more about my god than you know about yours." And he's looking you dead in the eye with this serious face.
That sounds like Agni.
Are we in the area to hear this when this happened?
Sure.
Definitely.
Rogar, take pity on the kid, please.
He's like, he's 27. He's fine.
Yeah, he's
I'm
old.
calling him a child because he acts like a child.
I can act like an adult better than you. I'm great at it.
Allow me to adjust my crown.
Yeah, that's
She's just gonna lean
I
over.
know enough about my goddess.
Just don't kill him.
Yeah.
Wait, why am I
Really maim.
why am I getting this vibe in my head? I am the bestest paladin, the greatest. There's never been a paladin as great as I am.
No. Bad.
That physically hurt me.
That
You know-
hurt me too.
Should I just like accidentally hit him?
What are you accidentally
That's-
hitting him with?
That's up to you.
Just a little. Do I need a 4th level spell today?
No!
No, you don't actually. No.
Probably not.
Light bonking.
Oh, I know he's good at charisma.
Well,
Not that
paladin.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I could just banish.
I mean, that might work.
That
I
might.
just thought of something really quickly to
I'll
try and diffuse the situation.
I'll just tell you, it might not work.
You say you're one of the best paladins, right? Then
That's right.
do you think you could do me a favor to prove it?
Obviously.
Any good paladin is always able to find information on other guards regardless of their own faith. Find me a book on Saloon that is not in the church, and you'll prove it. But you cannot
Stuff
enter
on
the family
saloons
vault,
that's not in the
and
church?
You cannot go into the churches.
No family vault, no churches. Child's play.
Oh,
He
and you
smiles
can't
real
ask-
big.
you cannot ask Orion.
His smirk goes away a little bit. And he goes, no family vault, no churches, no asking
You have to do
Orion.
it all by yourself.
All by yourself.
By yourself.
He takes a deep breath and he goes, all right, consider it done. I'll prove it.
All right.
I am the best. And
1,000
Alright.
years later.
We have 1,000
And-
years.
and he takes off just this, shoulders back, strutting air of confidence as he's walking away. Everyone, well, actually, Diana, what's your perception right now? Because I know it got higher.
Yeah, I think it's like a 22.
Your passive?
No, my passive perception is a 27. It's one
Okay.
less than Yuri.
Okay. So, Rogar, you can make a perception check. You other two don't need to.
Magical ears.
18.
Magical eyes.
18. Okay. You all notice as soon as he gets kind of to the end of the hall and is just about to round the corner, his shoulders slump. as he rounds the corner. And you could just see from his body language that it was like confidence, bravado, I've got this. And then as soon as he gets to the corner, he's starting to turn around. He's like, oh shit, fuck this.
Well, sorry, you're lucky because my hand was raging in necrotic energy.
Ooh, that would have not been good.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to activate my necrotic shell just to be like, okay. And then I had to. But I was like, I'm not trying to kill the poor guy to make a point.
Hence why Diana very quickly, because Rogar is always go big or go home.
Yeah.
There is no gentle or subtle. It's either I'm going to fuck you up or I'm not going to bother.
He's very one side or the other side. But yeah, and if you, I can wish I had something. But yeah,
Actually, hang on. I think I have it now. Let me check. I think I actually have that now. It was either sending or message, but let me check. It has to load. I'm sorry. I didn't think I'd need her sheet today.
yeah, I would eventually head over to like the Church of Salem just
Okay.
to help out around there.
Okay.
I only had message.
Okay. Yep. So you, Rogar, you make your way to the Church of Saloon, where you find, if I can pull his name, I know I have it in here. Father Edric and Brother Maynard.
That's where I have.
Yep. They are in there, and they are tending to what actually looks to be a decent showing of people in the church. There's not really a there's not any service going on right now. It just seems to be people who've come in to pray and to worship in their own way. But both Father Edric and Brother Maynard are checking with them, people individually. Seems like they'll sit down and talk with someone, and
I'm good at this.
if need be, do the whole, similar to confession in the Catholic Church, kind of thing. If the
You
person
need to
feels
talk.
like they need to, yeah. And they're tending to their flock, and it seems like it's a decent showing. There's probably about 20,
Weird
25 people
question.
in here.
Weird question, because so
Weird
many
answer.
people were. Yeah, so many people were in the castle chamber when Diana went into the god mode.
Mm-hmm.
Would have that ended up sparking a lot of religious boosting among the entire, as word gets around among the kingdom?
The question is, here's your weird answer. Who are you asking this of?
It's more like because Diana always had trouble finding information about Saloon, and not many people really ever talked about her. And when she got there, she didn't see anything obvious that showed people were still holding tightly onto the faith aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more, has she noticed a lot more people are starting to talk about and bring up Saloon again after seeing the God mode.
Well, since in reality,
word of
in
mouth.
reality, it has only really been a few days since that happened, and with, it's been, let's see, basically, it's been 3 days of being a fox, and you were pretty much in the palace the whole time. I mean, exhausted, tired, and it's only really been.
I was wondering if a
yeah,
lot of
it's
rumors
only-
and
well,
conversation has started to circulate. 'Cause
not
no
yet.
one's
Hold
been
on.
out there to say
Hold on.
yes or no.
Hold on, I'm answering your question. Hold on. So it's only been like 2 days since that, and there's been a lot going on. So, noticing wise, you haven't been out and about in the city to notice any difference from what you saw before. And as far as, talk or gossip, you really haven't heard anything because, you've been preoccupied with stuff, so you really haven't asked anyone directly. But, that's something you can choose to pursue if you wish, to find that out.
You could use Eurydice as a spy. Just
You
be
could
like,
do that
"Haha,
as well."
Do all my dirty work. Go find out things about the kingdom.
No, that's true. I could ask that. She probably would have. It's like, hey, can you go check how the general public's morale and rumors are going and whatnot?
And Eurydice would have happily done that.
Okay. So, yeah, you go out. Give me a, well, what would I want to call that one? Give me a investigation.
Okay.
Not you. Not you.
Oh.
Eurydice. She's the one doing all the searching and hunting for information.
$25.
Okay. Good to know. I will get back to you with that information in a little bit.
Okay.
So, Rogar, you're at the church and you see, Father Edric and Brother Maynard doing their thing. What do you do?
Yeah, I'll just start getting to work, Rogar feels like he's pretty cool with a lot of gods. Yeah, I'll reach out and pray for some of the people.
Okay.
To say loon for them. I'm pretty in touch with religious figures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm friends with the
I know her sister.
Yeah, it was Rogar, party of one. I'm the +1 of the goddess's sister.
Yeah.
All right, so yep.
No,
Go ahead.
no, guys, I totally
I'll pray
know
for
her.
some people.
Okay.
Also, so I know a little bit about Saloon. I know some about Tenebris. Would it be possible to religiously seek out both of them at the same time? I'm really not trying to investigate, but allow my religiousness to give me some religious insight, as I keep using one word in specific.
Yeah.
Are you
Yes,
essentially trying to sit there going, hey, I know y'all are sisters. I'm wondering, can I ask you some questions? Is this not okay?
Well, because I know, because if I'm remembering the lore right, they used to be one.
Yeah, they used to be one being, and then they got split in.
Yeah.
That is correct.
So I'm trying to reach for that. What were they before?
Ooh.
Okay.
Without having to rely on anything else but either religion, maybe persuasion, maybe insight. I got decent there.
So,
Well-
yeah, it's essentially you want to talk to them both to see what was.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
hit
what
up
was
them while
before?
they're having lunch together, and it's just like, oh god, not this guy again.
Yes, I think Anghammeran just kind of said it well right there. Pondering their tenets and asking their counsel on following both is kind of what it sounds
Yeah.
like you're doing. So,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I just want to see how they were before.
okay.
Do you guys have any memories of your childhood?
Or do I?
So, yeah, you're trying to figure out, how things were before, and you're trying to get that information. Now, how are you doing that? Are you praying about this?
Yeah. I'll go
Okay.
into like a deep prayer. I'll make
Okay.
a prayer circle,
Okay.
generate the energy.
All right. So, I am going to need two things from you. I'm going to need a religion check
I can do that.
and then a wisdom check.
I can slightly do that. I'm trying to see if there's anything that can help me. Don't think there is. Okay, I'm gonna go out for a stretch.
Okay.
Could my Pegasus help me on the wisdom check? Since it's proficient in saving throws of wisdom.
Okay. Well, technically it is not a save you're doing, it is a check.
Well, yeah, so I'm using it to give me a check boost. Since, it's gotta be good at wisdom. It has a +4 to perception.
Right, but
Guidance on yourself?
I'm afraid that's not how it works, because right now what you're doing is you're
It is a
trying to pray.
celestial.
Yeah, but you're trying to pray, and you're trying to center yourself and open yourself up to, to your goddess, or both, or, however you're doing. You're trying to open yourself up, and it's really a test of how well you make the connection, not how well someone else makes a connection.
Yeah, dude.
You're trying to come up with a reason.
Yeah, I was like, there's gotta be some other way.
Like, I can see your gears turning.
And I was like, I'm gonna find a loophole to get advantage. I
Welcome
really need to
fucking
learn.
life.
Ew, what that blessed
All right.
is?
Bless is saving throw set. I wish I could learn guidance. God, I miss Galdor.
Mhm.
Oh, this is a
So religion was +10, so 16 plus 10 was 26.
Okay,
And then
nice.
a wisdom check is 15 plus 1, so
Okay.
16.
Okay, so as you are focusing, you know that in order to try to basically attune your spirit to be in line with praying to a god or goddess, certain deities have specific rituals that you go through in order to kind of connect with them and talk with them. Some it's simple as getting on both knees and praying, folding your hands, bowing your head. Others, it
You
involves
gotta sacrifice a bunch of shit.
usually the mean ones you require
Can I
that kind of
throw a
stuff.
bone out there?
No, because you're not there. But
No bones for
you
you.
with your knowledge of religion in general, and what few things you have learned about Saloon and about Tenebris, and the things you kind of knew from your studies about Saloon, because she has been around for a while. You realize in order to connect with them, you're going to need to go through a certain series of motions and rituals and stuff, and you understand that, and you're able to replicate that. And then as part of that, you start to attempt to attune your spirit and allow yourself to be open to receiving the guidance that you are asking for.
Yeah.
And as you feel yourself kind of enter that calming meditative state where the world around you almost seems to disappear because you're so centered and focused, you ask your questions. So go ahead and ask them.
Jesus.
Jesus is not here. Wrong God.
He's not a part of this pantheon.
I guess Rogar's first question would be
How do kites fly?
wind magic.
He's flying.
Gust of wind spell. That's what it is. Gust of wind.
Yeah, just keep casting Gust of Wind. Yeah, Rogar's first question would be, what were you guys called before the split?
Hold on one second.
Don't think that was in the lore that I had. Which, I mean, let me just
No, I don't think so either.
What, did I just roll past it? No.
Like, I think we got, like, one of their, like, epitaphs or something, but, like, not, like, a real name.
Yeah, alright. Okay, no, this is more about her. Yeah, no, I didn't have their name before. I just want to make sure. But I can learn commune in the future.
When I get to level 10 in cleric.
Level 17. I really want to get contact another plane, but oh, I'm already listening to that
I'm just enjoying
damage.
that I'm gonna get to like have so much prior and current NPC interactions. I'm just excited.
I have a feeling where I'm going with this. I feel like Rogar at one point is going to try to combine them both.
Dude, that was
Rogar
one of my things that I suggested.
Yeah, I feel like
At one point, one got us, but they...
Yeah. I'm like Rogar's trying to reunite the cuts. Why not try to bring two goddesses back together?
Oh god. That would be something.
I don't think you could do that reasonably.
Yeah, I don't think I have that ability, but you know.
No, mostly because when, academically speaking, in, you know, our world, when gods tend to split the stuff, they tend to usually stay split unless you go back further and further and further and further.
I have faith in Rogar.
Hermes used to be Pan.
I thought you had faith in Tenebris. Who is it that you have faith in?
And Rogar has faith in too many people. He actually has only faith in two people, himself and his gods.
Hey, what about your
What
Ritzies?
What about his horse?
My Pegasus, I don't even have faith in.
Oh, sounds like food's here. I'll be right back.
Alright.
Yeah. I know I won't.
She shut off her camera. So it jumped us again.
Oh my god, this won't be dead anytime soon. Oh, but she might be dead if I combine her into one.
What are you talking about? Are you still talking about the saloon in Tenebris?
Yeah. I mean, it would just be interesting. Like... I mean, it'd be kind of dope to be like... Religion's really, especially in the world of D&D, you know, it's like... If you can convince enough people, I mean, you start a cult, next thing you know, it's like, hey, where's this magical power coming from?
Okay. Alright, so, once again, what was your question? Just so I'm clear.
So, what was their name before they split?
Okay.
Before they broke up.
Yeah.
Before the band broke up.
Before the band split up, yes. As you ask this question, you get a feeling of momentary, like, tension in your muscles, and then a kind of a feeling of uneasiness for just a little bit, and then it fades away. Give me an intelligence check.
be good. Ah, man. This one's not going to be so good. I can't read what that is. Oh, okay, 15.
Oh, okay. Good enough. Good.
Do I add anything?
Yeah, good enough actually.
Once again,
You realize and you actually go, stupid. They're not speaking. I don't know this god well enough. I'm not going to get straight answers. At best, I'm going to get yes or no. So I got to ask yes or no questions.
Should have went to Tenebris first.
Do you still love your sister?
I'm not asking that.
No, they're cool now.
I need to see some proof. I'm so
It
nervous.
was written in the thing.
I think it says that they're
What I missed?
neutral to each other. I definitely asked the wrong
They're
person.
like they're cool.
Oh my god, they're like the cuts right now. Oh Jesus, one wrong thing and war's coming back.
Yeah, I think they're like just like, oh yeah, she's my sister. Cool. If she does anything wrong, I'll fuck her up. But you know, she's my sister.
I mean, one of them got fucked up once before, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because the other gods helped out. 1v1 me, 1v1 me.
Well, no, because like what happened was they split apart.
I did a dramatic
War.
irony for the audience.
Yes. Shh. Don't give away all the stuff. You know the lore. They have to learn it.
Let's see, what else would Rogar ask? Same yes or no question.
You could ask about the, baby with god ridiculous amount of power. Your friend's about to pop out.
Yeah, you're not
Well,
there.
does he know that
At this point I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Well,
We don't really know anything.
I'm thinking more of the fact that he knows Diana died. Diana suddenly went into like this ridiculously overpowered mode. Who knows
Well-
what that did to the baby?
Well, technically, he doesn't know that Diana actually died, other than word of mouth, where other people said it looks like she died, because he wasn't in the same room and didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I've heard once that you died.
Yeah, no, Eurydice is repressing that memory very, very much.
Yeah, so the one person who would
Yeah.
have told me.
It's probably Lee.
Yeah,
Lee-
Yeah,
so
Lee
I
might have.
guess-
Lee.
I don't talk to Lee.
No.
It's good policy.
Lee
It's
boys,
good.
he'll
good
totally
policy.
help you with the cuts.
Yeah, but it's
If you
in
need
general. In general, it's a good policy not to. No.
I guess my first question would be, would you and Tenebris ever reunite into one? That's a yes or no question.
That is.
I mean, there's a
And-
lot of gray area in between.
And you, as you ask this question, you sit there for a while.
Please tell me
Focusing
she says,
on it.
ask again later.
You focus on it, and you feel what's like a cool breeze blow across you.
Mm-hmm. So, very nice. Don't know what that means. I guess my second question would be, fuck, that's not a yes or no. I can make it a yes or no. Is the mark on my shoulder a sign of Paylor? And then I guess if another breeze passes by, well, I'll see what happens. Yeah, let's see what happens before I jump the gun. I won't tell you where I'd be my dad.
You feel like, 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 you feel like you are nice and comfy, warm, and secure for just a few moments, and then it fades away.
Oh god, I don't know if I like that. I'll say, didn't really understand that answer. Is Tenebris the one who marked me? I guess that's what I should have said. Yes, Tenebris the one who marked me.
Once again, the cool breeze blows past you.
I have figured out this. Is my name Rogar?
And again, the cool breeze passes across your skin.
I think she's saying fuck you.
I think cool breeze is yes. I'm trying to think of another question that's like a yes or no question that I could be like, that I know the answer of. That a goddess that I don't know super well would also know the answer of.
Ask her something random like is Eurydice an elf or something stupid like that.
Yeah, I don't know how involved deities are with us, but
I hate to circle back. Ask something about me.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to think how I can phrase it in a yes or no question.
Is Diana a fox shifter?
I mean, I guess technically I could ask that.
You have a very helpful subconscious.
Oh, we have
Yeah.
a Razmith returning.
Wait, does Rogar know he's an Asimar? Like, does he actually know the name of what he is? Or does he just think he's a human that can, like, call out wings and shit?
From what you
You're
and I
not
talked
sure.
about, he doesn't know yet. He hasn't done any research into it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shit, I was gonna ask if you were an Asimar. Man, I really could use some non-yes or no questions. I don't even know what an Asimar is.
And you can also ask Diana later what means what for answers.
Yeah.
Because she's talked to
She's
Fjord
human.
before.
Is the church that I'm in a temple, or I guess I would say church? Is this a church of Saloon?
You feel warm and secure, as if comforted, and then it fades.
So your
Like
name isn't
that.
Rogar?
My name is Rogar. Do I have another name? Does she only know me as Michael? That's not my real name, by the way. Oh, unless it's because I'm asking. Okay, because my name technically isn't Rogar. My name is. I have a whole name. I just like. I don't want Tenebris to be the person who marked me. Not Tenebris, Paylor. There's one question I want to ask.
I just thought of a really good one.
But I feel like when I ask this, the connection might get fuzzy, because this is like. Would Rogar? No, see, yeah, no, Rogar's not lawful. That's more of a self-gain question. So yeah, he wouldn't answer. Oh, you know what? Is the Church of Paylor truly worth destroying? I'm making sure I'm saying this all in my head, by the way. I do not want to say that out loud.
Okay. You feel warm and comforted one more time, and then it fades.
At that point, Rogar would probably end the call. He's like, oh, dude, I'll go to a
Time to go.
temple. Yeah, I'll go to a temple of
Thank you
Tenebris.
for your cooperation. I
Yeah.
need to go now.
I don't think there's any other spells I can learn that are like right now that would have helped me.
Mm-hmm.
I need to be like, I would have to be a whatever it's called. Because
Cleric?
to your guys' surprises, most paladins, even though like we're divine based, we technically don't get our magic through divinity. Like you can be a paladin and be through yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Yeah. So.
It's an interesting loophole that I use for one of my other paladins.
I think
Yeah.
that's technically how Agni operates.
Yeah. It's like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He worships himself,
Yeah.
He's a,
which is why he knows so much more about his god than you know about yours.
I don't really know myself if I had a.
Well, I think it's a bit more complicated than that, but okay. For Agni.
I was just making it simplified, just for shits and
Yeah,
gigs.
But
Just
that'll give Diana, if Rogar tells her what happened, if that gives Diana what she needs for the group to know, they can't trust the Church of Palor.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah.
Which means they were right.
Oh yeah.
all right. So, Razmith is now back from the food run, so that is a good thing.
Yes, it is.
All
Back
right.
to our regularly scheduled program.
Back to our regularly scheduled Razmith. So, you are going back to Razmith's home at Stonehaven,
Right.
his family home.
Razmith's gonna come running back from the bathroom.
Yeah,
Sorry that took so long.
Forever.
and your father looks at you and goes, "Did you clog it up again? You nasty little bastard," with a big smile on his face.
I did not clog anything, and I haven't done that for 100 years, and you know it.
Oh, sure.
Dad, you're the one who clogs the toilet most of the time.
Yeah, I did.
No,
Quiet.
you're blaming your issues on your
Quiet,
sons.
you.
And
Cind-
as of
uh,
late,
Sindri
everybody's been
waves
able
a
to
wrench.
tell, I'm
She's
pretty
like,
sure,
I'm the
'cause
one who
I
has to
haven't
fix
been
the
there.
goddamn toilets all the time. I know who breaks them.
All right, say that again, Razmith. I missed what you were saying.
and I'm like, and I'm pretty sure everybody's noticed because I haven't been here for the last couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody clogged it, and it wasn't me.
Well,
Yes, it was.
Don't make me cut off your allowance again.
I make my own money, sir.
Then why are you always asking me for money?
Because it's easier than spending my own.
you know, that's a fair point.
That tracks.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I was really vague with the stories. I mean, there's plenty more to talk about, but I didn't think, we should all talk about it at breakfast, But we are trying to secure.
Nonsense! You've been gone for so long. Tell us about your trips. You ran away so quickly.
Well, we're trying to secure trade up in the north. With the people that I assisted help overthrow said kingdom. We're gonna possibly have trade agreements, so I need to actually start setting that up. And you're gonna have to help me with the clan leaders because we're gonna have to use. Well, we're definitely gonna have to talk to the miners. They've offered to, in payment of creating up a port up there and making it worth their while. They're talking about letting us tap into their mountain resources. They themselves don't dig into the mountains, and so that would be beneficial. They're untapped. They also had quite a bit of woodland, so we could do a bit of lumber, and they have some fine furs and silks to sell, I'm sure. Plus, sure, exotic things of the like. But this would help get us some things up north.
So what you're saying is we're gonna have to deal with the roaring bells and the ore grinders. Oh, great.
Well, I figured we could kind of butter them up with the fact that it's a totally different region. This is new rock. It's untapped. These are riches that they're willing to share with us.
Well, I can set up the meeting, but you know that
Revna's
that
gonna speak up really
negotiations
quick.
are not my strong suit. You may want to do the talking yourself, or maybe bring your sister or someone.
Wait a minute. You set up to the north. So why would we be helping them with trade?
So, I want to help expand up north. They are a small kingdom, and they don't really have much income. So I had offered to help set up a port town. This would help us secure some trade. We get mineral rights with it, and on top of that, they get revenue flowing into their kingdom. This is kind of an alliance that I kind of made, and the others, they don't truly have to, agree upon this. This is solely something that I made between me and the new queen.
How do you know you can trust her?
I feel like I can trust her pretty well. She doesn't seem the one to lie, and honestly, since I've met everyone, everybody's been pretty trustworthy. I mean, even the one that's sleeping in the guest house right now, he's a good guy.
Why did you bring a human back?
So, he can do the teleporting. So he was able to bring me here, but he has to wait.
How far north are we talking?
North, across the sea. Trying to remember the name of the kingdom. God, what was the
To
name of
which-
the kingdom?
Bess will pop up from her place at the table and go, "You mean where Frody was?"
Yes, I went north to confront the lady who imprisoned him.
As Frody is still snoring at the table.
Are there any soft items on the table?
Bess is gonna
Like some
turn
grapes, I'm gonna start throwing at him.
to the father and go, "Wake your boy up."
He reaches over, grabs him by the scruff of the neck, pulls him back, slides a bowl of porridge right in front of
Oh
him,
no.
and then slams his face right into it. And then immediately pulls him back as Frody just abruptly wakes up with just porridge
all in
and
the
stuff
beard.
just all over his face. And he's not too thrilled by that.
Morning.
And he wipes his face off. Already?
You've been sleeping there for a bit.
I was working.
Do you ever take a damn day off? Ever?
Only when it's needed. Wasn't needed.
It's needed.
No.
It's needed.
Fine. Just
Anyway,
Uh,
Frody.
Quick question for you. Are there any actual retreat areas, like any waterfalls or different areas just to go camping for the night or something?
Oh,
like that?
yeah, you would know spots, and mainly, I mean, this is, a true big mountain range, like the Rockies, big, covered in snow for the most part. But you guys mostly live in and under the mountains.
Okay.
And you do know some passageways and stuff that actually lead to some little hidden valleys here and there that are actually low enough elevation where they're not perpetually covered in snow. And sometimes there's a few that even have some nice pine trees and little lakes and stuff like that. And sometimes they will get snow there, but it's just not constantly covered like it would be in other places.
I plan a family camping trip.
Okay.
All of us are gonna go and enjoy a night together. One, this gets Frody away from his damn shop, so he'll actually spend time with the family. I'm finally back, so is Galar. And I feel like it'd be a good bonding time, and I'm sure Grandpa would love to tell stories around the fire. You know how he loves to do that.
If anybody can understand the poor bastard.
Look,
Haven't been able to stand my paw for 300 years.
Well, I recall there's a certain mushroom that he likes to take, and it does make him technically hallucinate a little bit, but he speaks a little bit easier.
That's one thing to call it.
More like the shit flows more fluidly from his mouth. All that crazy talk.
Well, so the only reason I bring it up is the one that I brought, the human. He's got some questions for Grandpa, and if he can't talk to Grandpa, then I don't think any of the questions he's gonna have are gonna be answered. Something about the septum vitura.
You're sounding insane, just like your grandpa. Talking
know it
funny
sounds
words.
crazy, but the people that I've been traveling with as of recent make it seem not so crazy.
Well,
So if we could possibly talk to Grandpa and let him enjoy a little free ride here and there, I'm sure, he could get his questions out and we could all enjoy a good family night, and we can go have some fun in the woods.
I think the trade idea might not be so bad. And Beth
And
will
Bro-
look over to, what was the husband's name?
Brock.
Brock.
Brock?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And she'll look over to
Gym
Brock,
leader in the first Pokemon game.
right?
I was thinking
Yes.
that.
And she's just like,
I'm not sure, why not?
The rock
we've
type
been
thing?
wanting to expand Stonehaven's trade for a while now. And if they have untapped mountains,
They also, I remember hearing talks that they're gonna have like some ships that could possibly do trade elsewhere. We could technically try to get our goods sold even further. So there's possibility of even branching out even further.
who's going to run this port city? It's hard to start an entire port town with just one dwarf.
Well, that's why I'm asking for everybody's assistance so that we can set it up. I was actually gonna ask Gloy if he wouldn't mind taking care of the port town. It's all about money and ledgers and keeping things by the book. And Grid, I'd like you to possibly set up security, train some of the shifters up there, and I'm sure that they've already made some fine guards already. And
Revna,
Revan.
Revna is going to immediately jump up and go, that means I can go too, right? I can
I can
finally
go
leave
too.
Stonehaven.
Sigrid is just like, are there gonna be horses there?
All right, calm down.
And
Says Brock. He's like,
Sindri
Look.
is actually just doing some math, writing on a napkin, just figuring out how many
Says-
tools they would need.
says, look, all of this can be discussed, but first, Bess, what say you to a wee vacation? I kind of like that idea.
If it gets you to stop doing so many midnight meetings.
Fair enough. All right. Finish your breakfast, up and pack. We'll leave in an hour.
We may have to leave a note for Jacob, just in case.
Oh,
you know.
no, not an issue. I'll
Just
send
bring
someone.
him.
I'll send someone to get him.
Perfect.
She'll smack Brock's arm and goes, just bring him. If
Yes.
you're from the Northern Kingdom anyway, it'll
Yes.
give you a chance to go over
I
contracts.
just said I'll send someone to get him.
Sounds like there's an echo.
Sorry.
in here.
My audio cut, so I thought you said I'll send someone to like send him away.
Oh
or
no,
something.
no. So I'll send someone.
Sounds great.
So
And Razmith's gonna look back at Frody, and this will get you to calm down and relax for a moment.
which he just kind of looks at you. You can still see how tired he is. It's in his eyes, as well as some porridge around his eyes. And he's just taking a finger and kind of sloughing some of it off his cheek. And then like licking it off his finger. And just kind of look at you with, still really only half awake. So he's just kind of like nodding a bit. Uh-huh.
Here, I said something good.
Yep, there you go. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I gotta put this in the chat. There we go, everyone. Now you can laugh at what Razmith sent into the Discord, and we're laughing at. That's Frody right now.
Poor Goldilocks.
Yep.
Porridge was just
So
right, but it was too much.
It was too much. So everyone eventually finishes their breakfast, and in approximately an hour's time, everyone is packed up.
While we're still getting ready, Razmith would like to talk to his dad.
Okay.
Pertaining to talking to what were their names again? The other clan members.
Yes, that was the
I
roaring.
guess Goldar's with you because I just sent him a message.
Yeah, that was the roaring bells and the ore grinders.
The Roaring Bells and the Ore Grinders.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to talk to him a little bit more about them real fast, just get a bit which one's going to be a little bit more difficult to handle.
Well, he informs you. He kind of. I mean, some of this you know just from growing up in in this city and knowing who kind of the major players are, specifically because your family is one of them, so you kind of know who the other ones are in the city. And you know that the org...
Pretending like, can I butter them up in
Right.
some way?
Right, but he explains to you as well that, the ore grinders are probably not going to be too much of a problem if you're, talking about new veins of ore and minerals and stuff to be explored and
I
to
brought
profit
samples
from.
back with me, so
Yeah. So if you're talking about that they're not going to be too difficult to deal with. But they're, the head of the ore grinder clan, TOGG, he's kind of he's got a jerky personality, basically. Let's put it this way. He's a bit gruff. He'll be on board, most likely.
Okay.
But he's going to play hard to get.
Of course.
But he's not the problem. The problem is Griff Roaring Bell.
Griff Roaring Bell.
Yeah, Griff.
Love the name.
Yeah, Griff Roaring Bell is. He's very pragmatic, but at the same time, he is stubborn as all hell. And when he has his mind set on something, then he doesn't move an inch. I mean, he is the atypical, you can't move this dwarf, And so convincing him to uproot members of his clan from their ancestral home to move to a project thousands of miles away with the hope of it being profitable and not encountering any losses or danger to his family, that is going to be a tough sell.
Fair enough. Okay. With this information, Razmith's just going to smile and he goes, all right, well, 1 for 2 is not going to be too bad.
Yeah, but you will need the Roaring Bells on board if it comes to a project like this, because, you know, as far as your clan, the Uris, you guys have the craftsmanship and that aspect of things down packed. That is your main wheelhouse, is creating things. So taking those raw materials, those ores, imported woods, whatever, you know, all that kind of stuff, and turning it into amazing things. Ore grinders, they're great at getting ore. Okay? Finding the best ways to mine it, the most efficient ways, finding the best veins, all that kind of stuff. That's their thing. The Roaring Bells, however, while Gloy may be involved in dealing with Roaring Bells, as he's more of the financial kind of aspect of it, the Roaring Bells themselves are the trade clan.
Okay.
Trade is their business. So if you're going to get any kind of trade happening with dwarves coming out of Stonehaven, they have to be on board. Otherwise, they'll shut it all down.
Okay.
So that's what you would
Alright,
know.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me some ideas now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Razmith will go back to packing and getting ready to go.
Okay. All right. So you guys get all packed up, and
We feeling more of a woodsy location, waterfalls, fields. What we feeling here?
Just make sure that wherever we go, Sindri's not gonna burn the entire forest down.
Waterfall.
Leave your anvil behind.
Oh, and she goes to put it back in her room.
We're starting any wildfires. You did it twice already. You can't do it again.
But they're fun.
Spontaneous combustion doesn't exist, okay?
I'm on the cusp.
You can't
of
fool the
figuring it
guard
out. Thank you
3
very
times
much.
now, okay? You can't fuel them a 3rd time.
I will
And
figure out how to light myself on fire
Revna.
thinking about it.
Revna will just lean over and go, besides, I'm the one who has to deliver the messages that you burned the damn thing down. Take some pity for the messenger.
Well, the phrase is don't shoot the messenger, not don't pity the messenger.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
How
but
about
if you pity,
have pity for your sister?
if you take pity on the messenger before you do something stupid, the messenger doesn't have to go.
Oh, so bright.
Yeah, but then you're out of a job.
Trust me. Which one is it that runs the guard? Which brother was it? What was the name?
Grid.
Grid.
Yeah.
And she's like, trust me, Grid comes up with enough for me to still have the job.
Okay, but I'm still gonna try and make that dragon. That dragon automaton. You can't stop me.
We're on vacation. One
Mom might.
day.
Yeah.
One day. No funny business.
Okay.
Oh, yikes, because I already committed funny business.
Son of a...
As I turn around, I shaved off my beard. I'm 175. I'm going through a phase.
It happens. It happens.
Yep.
It's not a phase, Mom.
This is the new identity.
This is who I am, okay? Accept me for who I am.
Just gonna
I'm
wait for the
always
charcoal to get pulled out of the bag, starts lining it under the eyes.
Yeah, I'm a rebel now.
What's the equivalent of Fallout Boy?
father,
Start a band.
while you're talking to your father and getting like, these are the people you're gonna have to be talking to and whatnot, is going to pipe in. You might have better luck convincing them if you also have the person who's supposed to be on the other half of this alliance.
Fair enough. We didn't bring her on this occasion. I'm getting everything prepped. This meeting's not gonna happen tomorrow or anything like
Wait,
that.
didn't you
Definitely
say
gonna
the
set this
human
up.
had something to do with this stuff?
He'd like to talk to Grandpa.
Oh.
His wife is the one that would like to set up a trade, and I was the one that agreed. So technically, I'm the one.
He's the king?
Yes. Well, I think so.
Well, why didn't you say that prior?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you saying we're dealing directly with a king?
I believe.
In our home.
I think that's how that works.
And you put him in the
And you
guest
didn't tell
house.
us?
I didn't think about it. It's
I
titles
shaved
don't
my
mean
face
much.
this morning.
Woo! I just feel like all the kids have just kind of collectively just kind of gathered around this conversation. Just, like,
Oh yeah.
Like in passing, just like offered their 2 cents. Like, yeah, don't deal with that guy. He's a jackass. He
Yeah,
makes me late to work all the time.
I didn't really think about his title. I offered him the guest house, and he was.
Under her breath, she's gonna lean over to Brock and go, for a king, he wasn't very much dressed like one.
I know.
Well,
A little
he
bit,
lives a simple life.
A little scrawny as well. I would have thought he was be bigger, kingly.
Well,
Not all kings are fat.
I'm pretty sure not all kings.
Oh,
Are.
He's
good
got
ones
a
are.
bit.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone's a dwarf.
Well, their loss.
Yep.
So it's the queen who's setting up the alliance.
Yes.
You might want to figure out a way to get her here for that meeting.
Currently, I think she's undergoing being pregnant.
Oh!
So I don't think she's up for traveling.
This is immediately like, oh, I completely understand that. Traveling while pregnant is like the biggest pain.
So we have her husband. I don't know if he can speak for her or speak on her behalf, but yeah. I didn't really think much about his title. It happened all so fast because when I met him, he wasn't a king.
Galar's gonna lean over to Razmith. Would you like me to contact her?
If you can, sure. Go ahead.
Because Galar had sending.
Yep.
I got mending. I got sending.
So basically, Brock kind of, once you're all packed, takes up the planning, as he is a quite boisterous, loud dwarf, and takes charge of his family, even though it's kind of clear to anyone watching that Bess is really in charge and just kind of lets him be. But
Everybody's falling in formation, but they're all looking at their mother.
yeah,
Like, is this okay? Do we
Yeah.
actually do this?
yeah, she lets him
You're not gonna yell at
be
us?
in charge, But it's one of those things like he knows it, and she humors him. But he says,
Like even
I don't-
he looks over to her and be like, "Did,
Oh,
did
yeah.
I do good?"
yeah, kind
Is
of.
that good?
And as you grab all your stuff, he starts leading the way, and you end up making your way on quite a long walk through some tunnels. And about 6 hours later, You come out.
Is it trademark to sing "Hi Ho"? It's off to work we go.
It is probably trademarked. So let's just not, probably
Yo-ho.
copyright.
We'll do it then.
To the vacation we go.
Yeah. Now, but after about 6 hours of walking, most of the time the tunnel, you can feel it's going mostly kind of level, but then a little bit down, and knowing this path, you've
Going
been on
down
it.
to the valley, eh?
You've been down. Yep, you've been on it before. Several times. And he takes you out into this wonderful valley, which, if you want to look at the stream or if you want to go into Tailspire, you will see.
Dang, I don't have either.
Yes.
I have the stream.
Mm-hmm.
How do I find the stream again?
You're at a giant river.
Yes.
Yeah, very big.
So
Man, a big
it's
old
not it's
river.
not really a river. It's actually a lake.
Okay.
You have this nice lake in a valley with lots of trees around it. And you're all just kind of hanging out there comfortably. And I didn't put every single dwarf out there.
I get it.
But there's it gives a good representation. And of course Jacob is with you along with Rim. So
Okay.
you guys are out there, and you set up some
Oh, they have
tents.
an actual owl now.
Oh yeah, they've had that for a
They've
little
had
while.
it for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're welcome, by the way, for the owl. I did suggest that to the devs. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's been there for a while. Just it keeps getting lost whenever we're doing initiative.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, because technically it just goes on Jacob's.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, it doesn't roll separately. It just goes on his. But you set up some tents, and set yourself up by the shoreline, and you're all just kind of hanging out now. And
like to set
Grandpa's there.
up some-
Grandpa's there with you. He needed a little bit of help walking. He is definitely on in years. So
Yeah. Surprised he's still kicking.
mhm. He is. It's difficult, but he is.
I'd like to set up some fish nets.
All right.
To try and catch up some fish for the dinner tonight.
Okay.
I would like to set out. I would like to send off. Who is it? I want to send off Rebna and Sigurd. If you two could go rummage around for berries and possible vegetables. And
Certain-
to try
certain
and find,
fungal
grab
vegetables?
Some mushrooms.
Yeah, certain fungal vegetables.
And Nyal, if you could help me set up the perimeter for the camp, that would be appreciated.
You got it.
And Frody, your job is to keep an eye on these nets, and if you see any movement, try and pull them in.
He nods, and yeah, I mean he's still very tired. I mean,
Poor Bean.
you estimate he's probably had about 4 hours sleep from when he went to sleep and when he finally got woken up at breakfast, and then he had to march for 6 hours. So he just kind of nods at you, and he's sitting there next to the fishing lines. And
I'm
as
gonna
you
make sure that at the end of the night that somebody casts sleep on him.
well, you know,
Punch him until he goes down.
you notice as he's
No concussions.
yeah, you notice as he's there next to the fishing lines, he's basically just kind of sitting down, cross-legged, and from the back you can't tell if he's awake or asleep,
Good for him.
but he's not really moving.
I'm just gonna leave him be right now.
He earned it.
He did.
But yeah, you guys get a good camp set up.
Okay.
And you sent Revna and Sigurd
Revna
out?
and yeah,
Okay.
and Sigrid, yeah.
So they went out to gather wood and stuff, you said? And vegetables, mushrooms,
Yeah,
all that?
berries, wood for the fire, and vegetables if they find it. You know, possible mushrooms for Grandpa.
Okay. All right. And
And then Niall was
yep.
going to help me set up the perimeter for the
Yeah.
camp.
Okay. All right, hold on, just checking something. Where'd that go? Just not seeing it, darn it. Where'd it go? Ah, there we go.
Oh.
Okay, so
What time would you say it is currently?
right now it is probably late afternoon.
Okay, like 2, 3.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll call it about 3 o'clock or so.
Okay.
That's about right, because it was probably about 9 in the morning or so when you left, and it was a good 6-hour walk, and then you've been setting up camp and all that. So yeah, about 3.
Okay. I think where. I think I'm actually gonna swap out Frody. I'm gonna let him actually go take a nap, and I'm gonna see if Goodhild wouldn't mind watching the nets.
Okay.
I know he wants to keep an eye on Grandpa, but he can keep an eye on Grandpa next to the water.
All right. So Grandpa's kind of sitting there next to the water, and he actually seems kind of relaxed and at peace, just looking out over the lake. Occasionally, he picks up a little bit of grass, kind of rubs it between his fingers, then just kind of flicks it into the air and watches it fall.
Okay. After helping set up the perimeter and all that, Razmith is going to go check on the nets, and he's also going to just go have a conversation with his grandpa if he can.
All right. Okay. So, yeah. What
Are
do
there
you?
any fish in the nets?
Ah. Fish in the nets. Nets. Yes. Yes, nets. That reminds me of things. Yes, nets.
Nuts.
They were good.
What kind of nets? Big nets? Small nets?
Oh, very big nets. Needed to be. Otherwise they
What
break.
for?
Well, you know. You saw. We all
Dragon?
saw. No, stupid lizards. No. Big beasts. You saw them. We all saw them. Just like that. Yes.
Do you remember what the beast looked like? What color?
Color. The beasts.
Blue? Black? Brown?
No. Purple. Big and purple. Yes. That's
Big and
what they
purple.
were, purple. Needed the nets, though. Otherwise, they
How
move
many
too
people
much.
to make the net?
All of us.
Big beast.
Yes. Had to slay them all, you know.
How many?
All of them.
Do you recall how many you took down?
That's All of them, of course. You know me.
Sounds like you, Grandpa.
Yes. Me and my axe. Good times.
Do you remember the name of the beasts?
He starts kind of staring off into space for a moment. Then he kind of turns back to you, looks at you, goes, "What day is it?"
What day is it? It's a Wednesday.
Wednesday. Her birthday's on a Wednesday. Yes, we need to make a cake.
Grandma,
Yes. It's coming up soon.
we can make a cake.
Good, good.
I'm sure Sindri would love to make it.
Sindri.
Your granddaughter, the one that's really good with the sire.
The little one.
The little one.
Yes. She always liked the little one.
Hearing that, Razmith is gonna look over at Liv and kind of motion over. Here's another little one, actually. And he points at Liv as she comes walking up.
And he sees her and he smiles. And he kind of just reaches out and puts his arm around her and kind of pulls her down into a seat next to him. Says, "Did I tell you about the time long ago when I was with Kran and Borf? You remember, my friends? I told you about them, yes?"
Liv, because of how she's the baby of the family, she will just smile and nod and go, "But I never get tired of hearing about it."
Well,
Just
Kram,
as a, you can keep talking and just tell me.
Kram, he was a wily one. A little bit odd, but not being a dwarf makes sense. Always smelled like battle. You know, that smell. Yeah, like a wildebeest.
Like iron on the air.
Yes. You remember. You were there, weren't you? But yes.
Liv will just give him a nod as of just go along with it.
And Razmith will just nod quickly.
Okay. Yes. Crown protected it for a while. Was his duty. I never saw it. But he protected
Liv will
it.
quietly, without breaking his concentration on what he's thinking of, she will just very quietly remind me again what it was.
A box. That's all we told. That's all we knew. The box. Guard it. Yes. I never saw it. I was very, very young. Never saw it. Too young, they said. You stay. You stay out. Over there. Kram saw it. Borf saw it too. And the other. What was his name? I don't remember. He was so old. Impossible. For a human. Very strange.
Was it a long name?
know.
Do you remember what letter his name start with? Like a G?
Maybe K.
K?
No.
J?
No. J. J. Yes.
J?
J.
Oh, god damn it. I
J.
was a bullfrog.
I think J. Or A. Or K.
J or A?
They all rhyme.
Gloy, not
They
Gloy,
all- they all-
Galar
They rhyme.
will
right?
slowly come over. And just to the wind, because she's heard it mentioned within the group. Was it Jeremiah, Granddad?
I feel like
He
he's
look-
rolling.
He looks at you for a second. Then he looks at Razmith. Looks at the others.
Keep in mind,
Liv.
Jacob would technically be there.
I know. Liv. And the others. Then he looks out over the lake. Big nets. Yes, big nets. Wait, that's what we needed. You were there.
Were they-
He looks at you, Liv. You're smaller now. And he looks over at Jacob. You were there. You remember. You remember Crumb. Yes. But you much younger. What happened?
How long ago was this, Grandpa?
Long ago. How long?
Was Grandma still there?
Grandma, it's almost her birthday. We need to make a cake.
We will make a cake.
We'll make a cake. Good. Good.
Rasmus is just gonna smile and he's just gonna turn to the nets and
Then-
start pulling them in.
And he, for a moment, you see him just with this nice, gentle smile on his face. And then he starts to cry.
Oh.
And he goes, "No cake. No need for cake.
Why?
She's gone."
Liv will immediately just gently pat her grandfather's hand and go, No, we'll still make a cake. We can still celebrate for her.
And he just kind of, they just almost like he kind of wraps his arm around you in a gentle hug, but his face is buried in your shoulder. And he is just crying, softly sobbing.
And Liv will give the motion like, I got him, it's okay. Like, she's used to this from Grandpa at this point.
Oh.
Would Razmith know if this place that we came to was special to Grandpa at all? To Grandpa and Grandma?
Actually, yes, you would. This is
The way you
the
said he
actual.
was looking out over the water so calmly.
You would know that, before he became incoherent, in his speech and in his thoughts, that, when you were, much younger, that you've heard stories mostly passed down from your father and mother about it, as you got a little bit older and could remember it better and understand it. But this lake is actually where your grandfather and grandmother first met.
Aw.
And
Had a feeling.
yeah, and they would come here usually, once a year, just by themselves. And they did that for many, many years. In fact, as far back as you can remember, until she died. And then it seemed like Grandpa went downhill really quickly. And, before he never really spoke about old stories. He only spoke about things kind of since he came, to Stonehaven. But as his mind began to deteriorate faster and faster, he began to talk about, his quote-unquote glory days when he was young. But it always came out as just this strange prattling on, no real explanations of things, random thoughts interjected here and there, just like you heard. And it's just not, you could never really make sense of it.
It's the ramblings of an old man.
Mm-hmm.
Galar is going to pull Razmith aside after Liv essentially gives the motion that she's going to handle Grandpa from there. And take him on and go, do you think Granddad was talking about what they were?
It kind of sounds familiar.
They said one of them was in a box.
They did, and he said he'd never seen it, and one had to keep it, and I had... it sounds very cryptic, but at the same time, it now kind of seems like it makes sense.
Plus, he stopped talking when I mentioned that one's friend.
Yeah. I think I've heard that name a few times. Don't know.
Jacob mutters about it from time to time with his wife and the others. Says something about Jeremiah said this or whatever.
Was it a voice in his head?
I wouldn't be surprised if he had one.
We'll have to talk to him about that later on. Right now, I think we should just let Grandpa enjoy this moment. We should try to
Liv's
do
a good
something
girl. She'll take care of him.
We should do something to celebrate. I just don't know what.
I could get Mom to sing some of her old songs again.
That would be interesting if we could get her not to growl.
She always growls.
It's supposed to be a soft melody. It shouldn't sound like you're constipated.
She would beg to differ.
That's why I'm saying it quietly.
All right. While you're having this discussion, all of a sudden, Revna and Sigurd kind of run back and say, well, what did you see?
Saw
Something big!
something big in the woods.
Dad's
Something
first
big in the
rule is
woods.
always never take something on alone and never run away alone. So, we
did
came
that
back
together.
quickly.
Right. Y'all, Gunhild, come with me. That Grid, if you want to come with us as well, you can. Otherwise, you can protect the family. What direction?
That way.
Yeah.
I can lead you back.
From.
Was it following you?
I don't know.
No.
All I know is it was big and I grabbed Sigrid and ran.
I grabbed you, thank you very much.
I grabbed you, you slowpoke.
No, you didn't.
We'll hold here. If it comes out into the clearing, we'll fight it. I don't want to fight in the tree line.
Did Revna get a chance to get somewhat of a look at it before they bolted?
Give me a straight D20, each of you.
Woohoo!
10.
Okay. What'd you get there, Revna?
Double it.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. You saw kind of this. It wasn't quite like scales, but it reminded you of some kind of thick hide of some very large beast that you saw, this kind of gray hide moving through the trees, which the trees are very, very tall. You couldn't quite get the shape of it, but it looked huge.
And she'll just explain everything she saw. Would Revna remember if this hide she saw was similar to the dragon scale he had dropped on the table earlier that day?
It doesn't really look like a dragon scale.
Okay.
It was.
That's all I need to know.
It was different. And coming through the trees, making a lot of noise, and just so those who are in chat and or anyone watching the stream, they don't have this thing, so I'm using this as a proxy.
Is that just an oversized velociraptor?
Yeah, that's all they've got. But it's not that even. It's not any of those. It's just I'm using a dinosaur to represent a dinosaur. As you see this quadrupedal,
Oh my god, can we have a pet dinosaur?
very large beast walking on 4 legs with a long tail and a very long neck,
Oh.
comes through the trees,
It's a long-necked dinosaur. It's
Stand-
a little foot.
stands on the
They're
shore.
peaceful.
Yeah, stands on the shore and a mere 30 feet away from your encampment. Doesn't seem to even care that you guys are there.
Does
Dro-
his mother recognize what it is?
Yeah. You've seen one of these before.
Is it a Brachiosaurus?
Yes.
His mother is immediately going, "It's fine, just leave the poor beast alone."
And-
As soon as she hears that it's peaceful, Sigrid is gonna go up and try to make it its friend.
And
Sigrid,
as
you blasted, get back here!
and
But it's a giant horse, basically.
and Brock grabs you by your back of your shirt collar, holds you and says, "All right now. You don't want to get too close. Damn thing's liable to spook with something getting too close to it, and we don't want that thing trampling all over our campsite."
What is
If you just
adorable.
leave it be, it'll leave us alone.
But I don't want to leave it alone. I want it to be my friend.
You can wave at it from afar.
Yes, that's probably the best course of action. As it sits there and it dips its neck down and its head into the water, slurps up some water.
I will, in some way, in some campaign, get a giant monster to be my friend.
You already have one of those. His name is Soon.
No, I want, like, a fucking dinosaur, or an owlbear, or...
We'll get there. We'll get there.
And after a little while, it seems to get its fill. It just heads back away into the forest.
Razmith's gonna look over at I believe it's Nyal. Double check
Nyal.
here.
Meow.
Yeah.
I do have that name.
And he goes, maybe that's why they you see that right there? That right there is a giant. You're still the tiny giant though.
go ahead and not cast. Go ahead and use make myself big again.
I'm big, yo.
Size issue.
I'm
No,
big, yo.
I'm being small, now I'm large. What now, bro?
I don't
What-
know. Do I still have
what-
that spell too?
What?
And I'm beardless.
Man,
Yes,
that bald
such an
chin just got way
accomplishment.
balder.
If the two of you want to be the big men of the group, you can go get more firewood.
I pick up tree.
Pick up tree.
Actually, yeah,
Break
go ahead,
it
pick
in
up a tree.
half.
I'll just cut it in half, and I'll cut it into quarters, and we can just have.
Yeah.
firewood
Nice.
like that.
I pull a whole tree out, Grandma.
All right. So the rest of this trip, it's clear that you plan on, after taking a 6-hour hike to get out here, that
Taking a long rest. Yeah.
yeah, it's clear that you plan on, maybe
No, we
spending
only
a
wanna
couple
stay here for
days.
30 minutes.
Yeah, you
before we go back
spend a
home.
couple days, 2 days or so, like a nice weekend, out here and enjoying the water, the sun, nature, before eventually heading back. Is there anything you specifically wish to do while you're still out here, Razmith?
Not really. I wanted to get everybody out of the house. With Frody, if he wakes up, I was gonna hope to poke and prod him a little bit
Okay.
for, just give me some rough estimates of where these caches could be located.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm gonna do, because I gotta use the bathroom really bad. So why don't you guys,
Intermission.
yeah, you guys discuss amongst yourselves, especially Razmith, kind of, lay out your plan of what you would like to do next, and I'll be right back in just a little bit of time.
Okay.
So we're taking over the world.
World domination.
And we're gonna do it with dinosaurs.
I'm sorry, you're not gonna
Yeah.
dominate much with a Bronto.
Not
we're gonna
really.
find a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and we're gonna recreate Jurassic Park. Thank you very much.
Na, 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 na.
Did you not learn from the first few movies? It's just leave the shit alone.
No, I've never watched the first
No.
Jurassic Park movies.
Oh my god.
I know.
That
I'm so
explains
uncultured.
so much.
Kind of does.
Yes.
As far as
I've
possibly
only
what to do
watched
next.
the Land Before Times dinosaur movies, so that's my only exposure to dinosaurs that I've got.
You guys want a pun?
Sure.
Sure.
Where do bad rainbows go?
God damn it. I'm out. That was it.
They go to prism. It's a light sentence.
But
Yeah.
What do you call a
Felt it
5-foot
coming. Oh,
psychic who's
God.
escaped from prison?
Small, medium, at large.
God damn it! You should. It's my joke.
I'm sorry.
How does
I hear
Jack
that one
Frost-
so often.
How does Jack Frost get to work? Bicycle.
I was like, I've heard that one, I just couldn't remember it.
I don't really have a good one, but here's God. You're a crow. Crow. Nice. God. A group of birds is called the flock. Crow. A flock. God. You know birds of a feather flock together? Crow. Not ringing any bells. God. It means you stick together. Crow. Happy gasp. Velcros.
Oh, jeez. Velcros.
Crazy.
Hi, welcome back.
Yes, welcome back. So,
We did no planning. We just
yeah, oh, no, I heard. I had my headphones on. I heard the whole thing. So, just to add my 2 cents. So, a skeleton walks into a bar, asks for a beer and a mop.
Yep, I believe it.
Yep. All right. Okay.
I have one more.
Okay.
Okay, go for it.
Why does the mermaid wear seashells? She grew out of her pea shells.
Jeez.
Heard that one, I just couldn't remember
Oh,
what it was.
I
oh,
wasn't gonna say it because you
Oh,
got upset at
boy.
me for the door.
Oh,
for
no.
the-
Hold on,
that
hold
was
on.
my favorite.
hold on. This has got to have this.
Oh,
What do you
for
get when you cross the
fuck's
Titanic
sake.
and the Atlantic Ocean?
But for fuck's sake.
What?
You get about halfway.
Oh,
Oh
jeez.
god.
For bad. Thank you, Anghammerand, for the 100 bits for the bad joke break. I love it. I love it. All right, so what have you decided you would like to do? You said you wanted to try to talk to Frody if he, is awake, which, he would have probably slept all the way through until the next morning. So, the next morning he would be awake, feeling much better. He got
I'm
a
wondering why he's suddenly in the woods.
yeah. Oh no, he knows what happened. He was out of it. He was tired.
He's
But
probably really bored now. His current
not as
hyperfixation
much.
is at home.
Well, not as much as you would expect. In fact,
Has
Razmith-
just building something else.
no, Razmith, knows this about his brother, and so do the rest of the family. But, well, as much as Frody likes to fixate on projects and things like that, when he's on vacation, like, when it's basically thrust upon him and he has no choice. But once he gets there, he is one laid-back dwarf. He just, relaxes.
He's just
Let-
living.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like, okay, I guess I'm here. It's vacation time.
Might
You
as
know-
well enjoy it.
Exactly. And he just, right now, he's totally in vacation mode. So he's helping out around the camp, for the little things that needed, but he is not busting his hump. He's not, working hard at it. He's just, okay, this needs to get done, I'll do it. But then, when the stuff's done, I'm just going to sit here and dip my toes in the water. Just relax. And that's what he's currently doing. He's sitting right at the water's edge, kind of on a little outcropping of rock that, he's got his legs hanging down with his toes right in the water. And you can actually see a bunch of little fish like minnows and stuff are kind of, swimming up around and like giving little kisses or nibbles near his toes and feet.
Got some dirty toes.
Tastes like worm. No.
Slimy inside his
Tastes
Yeah.
like dirt.
Yeah, but no, he's just sitting there, kind of enjoying.
I'll walk up slowly behind Frody and I'll just sit down and put my feet in the water as well.
Don't want to scare him.
And
Look at them.
after you put your feet in, the minnows for a moment was your feet enter and you kind of splash a little bit. They scatter a bit, but then they come back, and now they're kind of doing the same thing to both your sets of feet that they see, and it's like a little tickling on the bottom of your feet.
Right.
Pleasant in a way.
Razmith's gonna look out across the water and see. We all just needed a little break away from home.
Ah, you weren't lying. I needed this. Thanks,
Is there anything
brother.
you'd like to do together today? Take a walk, go for a swim, try to catch as many fish as we can.
Into cash.
Perhaps,
Tell me about
Perhaps
all
just
the things that you never told me about that I need to know.
perhaps just lay here a bit. And talk. There are some things we need to be talking about.
We
good
do.
exposition.
I just didn't want to press you too quickly.
No, as good a time as any.
But I plan to go back north and find that stone, but I need some indicators on where these caches are. I know you don't want to tell me
Yeah.
directly where it is, but at least the caches so that I can figure it out.
Look, I
And
can.
Razmith will slowly pull the book out that he found up north, and he'll kind of hand it to Frody. Like, if you could you just write it down in this?
You know, for being the older one, always asking me to write things down.
Well, I'm better with my hands. You're better at using your brain.
All right, fair enough. Yes, I figured you'd be going after it.
Well, you kind of told me I should. It's important.
I did. Just didn't know it'd be quite so soon.
Me either, but things just have been kind of falling into place, and I'm just kind of rolling with it.
I'll tell you what I'll do. You guessed right, I'm not going to tell you exactly where it is. Especially not going to write it down. On the odd chance something happens to you.
Fucking picture or something.
Yeah. On the odd chance something happens to you. And someone else got the book. You know, I trust you. I don't trust those I don't know.
Fair enough. How about this, though? Put only keywords that only you and I know from growing up together. They could mean completely no sense to anyone else who reads it. Like, you could say butter, but we know that that means south. Just something.
You remember when we used to play tag?
Aye.
Remember that spot? The spot in the kitchen behind the broom closet. You know, that little tiny crevice that they didn't quite cover up, that you and I dug out so we could have our little secret room.
Aye.
Do you remember what we wrote in there?
I do. I remember what we wrote in there.
Okay. And yeah, you do remember in this kind of little, almost like a little clubhouse for you and your brother, that you managed to very sneakily create using the existing kind of stone that just like a natural little opening, almost a very small like half height cave that wasn't really more than like 5 or 6 feet deep and like 3 feet tall. It wasn't very big, but the way the furniture had been placed in the kitchen and where the closet had been made, the back wall of that closet and the wood that they used to kind of create it and put the shelves on, you could actually pull one of those slats of wood away and have access to this hole. And then over time, you and Frody every once in a while would sneak in there, and you'd take like just a small pick, like a hand pick, and you spent time just kind of gently chiseling it away to make it bigger. And you eventually kind of made a space that was decent enough size where both of you could kind of hide in there and, play games and, little games and stuff like, chess or whatever. Just little things you could hide in there and play and no one could find you because you were hidden.
Okay.
But on the wall, you remember that one time after winning a couple games, Frody wrote, "I am the champion, king of the mountain." And he drew a picture of a mountain, and he put himself on top of that mountain. And then he drew little mountains on the side. So he was basically standing on the top of the tallest mountain. And he says,
Okay.
"Remember that picture?"
Yes.
Go north. Find that picture.
Oh, okay.
And give me an intelligence check.
Okie dokie. Intelligence. Ka-chow. I got a nat 1
Oh.
for a 5.
You do
Okay.
have an advantage if I remember.
I believe you do. Let me
I
double.
think
Let me double check it. Yoink, yoink, and let's
If he
see
didn't, then
what
he
we
does now.
got. Well,
You did what I was about
Yeah.
to.
yeah, he did have one. In fact, you have 3 right now.
Okay, I will use one of them then.
Okay,
You're welcome.
so
Thank you. Alright, that's way better. 21.
all right. Okay, so you have succeeded, and you know that. Oh, I know what he's saying. There's a cache on the tallest mountain.
Wouldn't that be where the kingdom is?
No.
Or are we more in like the valley of the mountains?
Yeah, you're.
To be surrounded.
It's not the tall.
Excuse
You're
you?
not. Yeah, you're not. Whoa, excuse me too. I'm an animal.
No, I got attacked by s'mores.
I know. But no, you are the Shifter Kingdom. That is not the tallest mountain around.
Okay.
Especially because there an entire mountain range that cuts between the continent of Enethir and the unexplored continent, which is very tall.
Good to know.
So, just based on the geography you know of, the world in general, everyone knows that one of the tallest mountain ranges is that one there that borders between Enethir and the unexplored continent. And that's one reason why it's unexplored, because going by land, you got some really tough mountains to get across. So you figure, okay, tallest mountain.
And it's only the tallest mountain. No others around them.
You figure that's what Frody would have meant. He would have picked out on his journey the tallest mountain that he could see and make his way there. Because for dwarves, mountains are home. Big mountain, small mountain, they're all, at least you guys, you're mountain dwarves. This is your, where you grew up. Doesn't matter the size of the mountain, that's home. So a tall mountain to a dwarf it's like a beacon, almost. It's like, ooh, okay, I head in that direction. Perhaps I will find dwarves. Okay? Because especially a lot of the major dwarven cities, they find the biggest mountain they can, dig into it, and start making a city. Okay?
Fair enough.
So, tallest mountain around, I'm heading that way, because if anything, I might find dwarven civilization. Which would be great, because then I've got a place, people I can interact with that I know how to deal with, all that. Doesn't mean that's always the case, but, that it's kind of the mentality of the dwarves.
Okay. Razmith will nod and thank Frody for the information. And then I think we're just gonna enjoy the rest of the time there.
Sounds good. Okay, so after spending 2 days camping out, you guys eventually all head back through the tunnel, nice long trek, and make it back to the Yuri family home.
Okay.
And after, unpacking and everything and relaxing for a bit after marching for basically 6 hours. Dinner is cooked up, placed on the table, and Gloy comes over to you, Razmith.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I just been contacted. Father sent out a message before we left. Griff and Torg, they're ready for a meeting.
Right now.
This evening, tonight,
This evening.
after dinner. But they are ready. They are ready to meet.
Right. Galar, will you be able to possibly talk to Diana during these meetings? Possibly relay information if needed.
You might want to warn them how fucking sassy this woman is. Because you've seen her jump down a lot of people's throats.
Who, Galar or Diana?
Diana.
I was gonna say, I think I've seen both.
I agree.
Well, it's a good thing that they can't. Good thing that they can't hear the other half of the sending.
But if you wouldn't mind being there during the meeting, that would be appreciated. Goy, of course, I assume you'll be there for the meeting to keep notes.
Aye.
I'll also be bringing Di with me.
I figured.
Okay. Do you know any ways I could butter up your boss a bit?
Butter up Griff. That's a good one.
Does he like expensive things? Does he like fancy things, exotic things? Because I'm pretty sure.
Perhaps if you had some really strong wine.
Ooh! Sorry. I just remembered something that I kept from so long ago.
Those
You know those damn good bottles of the
Mhm.
wine and the dwarven spirits that we raided from that one place?
Yep.
That I never got rid of.
Yep.
I still have them.
Well,
I have like 4 bottles of the wine and 2 bottles of the dwarven spirits. Go me! This is why I never throw anything away when I play video games.
okay, so really, really nice wine. I don't think Razmith knows this information that Diana has.
No,
fancy
no,
wine.
you wouldn't know that. She would have had no reason to divulge her
Would
entire
I know
inventory.
of any good dwarven wineries in the area, or places to pick up good spirits?
Give me a history check.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
History. There. 27.
Okay, yeah, you know that at least one of the clans specializes in making spirits, dwarven spirits particularly. Not really so much wine, but dwarven spirits, and that clan, the Oak Barrels. They have some of the strongest, most sought-after dwarven spirits. In pretty much, as far as you know, all of dwarfdom. I mean, maybe there's someone else, in one of the other cities that does it better. But as far as you know, this is your world here. This is your dwarf kingdom that you're in. And as far as you know, in this kingdom, the Oak Barrels, they got the shit. But it ain't. But it ain't cheap.
I think I'll be paying a visit to the Oak Barrels, though.
Okay.
And if they don't have any fancy wines or spirits that will fit Griff's tastes, then I may see if we have any shipments that have come in.
Okay. So, yeah, you go check out the oak barrels. It is relatively late. So you're actually, when you arrive, you're pretty much just knocking on the door of their main house. There's a shop that's attached to it, or basically a store, but it's clearly closed because it's late.
Right.
But the house is attached. I mean, while they do make the best spirits and it's very expensive, they're very simple folk.
Okay.
Even with the money that they make off the spirits, they don't live very extravagant lifestyle. So it's very simple home, and it's smaller.
Okay.
So all you've got is basically the front door to knock on, or an empty, a closed store to knock on.
I will knock, and I will wait a few moments for a reply.
Right. After a little bit, the door swings open, and you see a dwarf with a fairly large belly. Doesn't really look like the soldier type.
Right.
Much more so of the sedentary, sit on his butt and drink a lot type. And he kind of smells like it too, whether it's because he's been drinking it or making it all day. You assume the latter because he seems coherent as he looks at you and goes, "What the heck is an Uri doing here at this hour?"
I'm very sorry for disturbing you so late. I have a meeting I'm going to be going to, and I was hoping that I could procure a bottle of one of your finest bottles. I'm willing to pay extra for the inconvenience, and do apologize.
Oh, yes, you'd be paying for the inconvenience. That's already established. Hold on. Ogle! He shouts towards the back. Boy! Come here!
Boy.
And you see a younger dwarf kind of scuttle out from the back. And he's like, what is it? He says, go get one from last spring's batch. Yes. He says, aye. Runs off. The other one just stands there kind of staring at you for a bit. Waiting.
Fine
Waiting.
evening we're having, right?
Be better if I was sitting down instead of dealing with business after hours, but here we are.
Aye. 'Tis life, though.
It is. And finally, young dwarf comes back again, and he's got this big bottle in his hands. Wax seal. It's actually got foil wrapped around it. The bottle itself, very beautiful looking. It's like they took a lot of time with this bottle, and with as good as you are at crafting things, you can appreciate good craftsmanship. You've seen it, you've done it. This is good craftsmanship. This bottle.
I will vocally admire the craftsmanship of this bottle in front of him. Almost as in persuading him that this was not a waste of time. This was a very helpful thing that he's done.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Yeah, 9.
You have 2 other advantages.
Fuck it, I'll burn one more. Why not?
Okay. Let me mark that off.
How many do I have?
Wait one.
Because I'm gonna need them later.
You have 4.
Oh so dope.
Yep. You know what? I'm going to use one of mine, because I have 3, to re-roll my thing.
So
To give you back
I'm just
what you
gonna say that I stuttered a little too much, and so I'm just gonna shut up.
Well, what'd you get?
I'll go 5 for the second roll.
Okay. Well, it's used the highest of whatever, so...
Yeah, so I got a 9.
You got a 9? Okay.
Yeah.
So... He kind of gets a
He's not
little
built for conversation.
he gets a little bit of a smile as you are praising his bottle, albeit a little bit awkwardly, but you're still giving praise to his product. And he holds it, and he kind of holds it out to you. And as soon as you reach for it, he pulls it back and goes, "Payment first.
How much will it be?
For the inconvenience, I'm going to add 10%. So that'll be 1,100 gold.
That's not bad.
Okay. 1,100 gold. How much does that transfer to platinum?
110.
110 for platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will hand over 110 platinum.
And he hands over the bottle.
Yeah, thank you very, very much. You guys have a very great evening.
All right.
Best
Next.
of luck to you in your making of drinks and drinking.
I appreciate it. Next time, come during business hours.
I will.
All right. And he shuts the door.
And I will run back to the house to pick up my father, my brother, and Galar.
Okay. All right. And then do you head to the meeting?
Pause. Question. Before you head that way, at any point during all of the time between X, Y, and Z, would they have contacted Diana about the meeting for the alliance bits?
That's up
I
to them.
asked Galar, and Galar never said.
Sorry, unless I'm like, yo, I've been kind of just staying out of it because it's your session. So would Diana have brought Redstone and tried to teleport down here?
Wouldn't. Do you have somebody else that can teleport you?
I mean, if there's a time frame that I think went back and forth, Jacob could have teleported back and then brought us back.
Technically, he could have. We were camping for
Mhm.
technically 2.5 days.
Yeah.
No. And then however much time it would have taken to send out the notification to the clan leaders to meet up for the thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel better, buddy? Do you feel better?
So I was just asking so that way I know if I need to start actually like fully paying attention or not. So I know
So-
Diana's supposed to be there.
Yeah. That's up to. I'll leave that up to Razmith.
I mean, like, I would. The more the merrier to secure
Okay.
this trade would be
That's
awesome.
what I was thinking, especially because I'm the other half of the trade. And
Well-
I'm bringing Redstone with me because Redstone's done this before.
In that case,
I've intentionally hired Redstone as my fucking advisor.
in that case, I'm gonna say you could have, as well, if you wished, have basically the entire party there.
Would everybody like
I don't
to
see
come
why
to
not.
Stonehaven
It
for a
wouldn't.
bit?
Yeah, it would make sense for all of us to be there if we're able to, simply because it has to do with my kingdom and what my team has found, essentially,
And who knows? We could even set up some trade with Rogar.
for when you get your kingdom back.
Mm-hmm.
It would at least give you already know who the faces and names are.
Yeah.
Some possible battle masters on your team.
Pretty much, Diana shows up with Jacob as the king, Redstone as her advisor, and then Rogar and Eurydice would essentially be personal religious bodyguards.
Religious
They're
bodyguards.
well, they're bodyguards slash.
It's a cleric and a paladin. I don't know how else
Well,
to explain that.
they're bodyguards and then holy advisors.
And then the midwife and the mid-husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Oh God, I
would that be the mid couple?
Yeah, I know.
No.
Yeah. The mid pair.
The mid pair. It's like an O pair, but in the mid.
That sounds like a bad pair of underwear.
Oh. It's the one you wear in the middle of the week, the mid pair.
Yeah, it's at that middle of the day shift.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say, yeah, Galar reached out, told Diana, and because I was doing some of the stuff for Galar and to save my own ass, Galar gave her the heads up of, you might want to bring something to like. So Diana had a reason to bring the drinks.
Mm-hmm. So
I will say,
Yeah,
as
go ahead.
soon as Eurydice someone says there are dinosaurs nearby, she is going to go and try and find one of the dinosaurs and be friends with it.
It's been 7 hours. Where's Eurydice at?
she just made it to the lake. No. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do, because technically right now the entire party is together. Okay, Jacob would be there as well. So we're gonna call it good for tonight, and we will pick up with the whole party next week,
Sounds good.
and work on this whole trade deal and negotiation as a whole party.
Sounds like a plan.
All right,
While Eurydice tries to go and get a dinosaur friend.
there you go. So that's
Just know
gonna
that
be
you
it.
can't bring that dinosaur back through the caves.
Yeah, it's not gonna fit. Not gonna fit. Sorry.
I feel like she's stubborn enough she would take the time to go over the mountain.
Maybe.
I mean, couldn't someone cast Enlarge or Reduce?
Oh god, what if it doesn't last through the cave? It only lasts an hour.
Yeah, you gotta travel with.
Well, you can time your spells to where you can recast it to keep it that size without it needing to expand and then shrink back down.
I
Yeah.
would just hate for you to run out of spell slots and that thing just gains back full size.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't quite work that way. I mean, it's.
What if I name it Littlefoot?
If you name it
Don't
Littlefoot,
do that. That's so
no,
mean.
no, because unfortunately, it would probably end up getting killed in combat at some point, and you wouldn't want that death of Littlefoot on your
Sad
conscience.
dinosaur noises.
I wouldn't want
Sad
that death on my
dinosaur noises.
conscience, but I imagine it would end up
No,
in combat.
Unless I specifically say so, none of my pets are ever going to be in combat.
Until they're in combat.
Until they're in combat. No, I just... But all right, no, that is going to be it for tonight. So I want to thank you, everyone who watched the stream. I hope you had a good time with this focus in on what Razmith is doing for the 1 year downtime. And we hope to see you next week, where we kind of go into this with the whole party and kind of finish that out, and then we'll be focusing on somebody else. So thanks for joining us. Have a good one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.